Here is the travesty of my week on Football Manager.
Oh Lord. Okay.
So in my solo journeyman game, I managed to escape Wales. I took over Stevenage in
Oh,
Vanarama National, and in our very first season, I went undefeated, 6 draws, but
oh,
undefeated season. I was pretty stoked on that. I didn't win Manager of the Year.
what? So okay.
Horrible. So I bought this one striker. He was 33 years old. Not the point. His age is irrelevant. The guy scores 46 league goals, wins the league scoring title by 20 clear goals.
Oh,
My board gave me a D for his signing.
why?
They said that they didn't like the finances involved. I'm like, oh yeah, he only scored 46 goals in league, plus I think 12 more in cup. So he's just 58 goals. I signed him on a free, but they didn't like the finances involved because I paid him 1,200 a week. I think it's a pretty good return on the amount
Interesting.
of goals. So they gave me a D rating for his signing. So there's that. Then the board is mad at me for not growing the team's reputation. Now, for context, I won the FA Trophy. I went undefeated in the league. The only loss I had was in the fifth round of the FA Cup. I had one loss all season. I don't know what more I could have done.
Not much from the looks of it.
So I didn't win Manager of the Year. They're mad at me for the signing the guy who was my leading goal scorer, and they're mad at me for not growing the team's reputation, in spite of the fact that I literally could not have done more other than maybe win the FA Cup, which we all know is never going to happen with a National League side. So yeah, that
Mhm.
that was my most recent what the hell moment with this game.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's actually quite amazing, actually.
yeah, yep. Yep.
So I'm sorry that that happened.
I mean, it's fine. Now I get to be in League Two and have 7 subs, so I'm looking forward to that. Just like in this game, pretty
Oh my
stoked about getting up to
goodness.
7 subs.
Yeah, I definitely don't blame you for that. I'm just trying to figure out how I wanna change this tactic really quick.
Changing it?
Um,
It wasn't working?
just one spot on one of my players.
Gotcha.
I think I'm just gonna leave it though. Well, there's too many
Yeah.
games in a season.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
But
Yeah, yeah,
oh
46
well.
games for the league plus all the cups. Go on. It's way too much.
But I think now we're down to one game a week, which is
Unless
nice.
unless you're still in the cup,
And I'm not.
but I am. I'm about to be in the FA Cup fifth
Hold on
round.
one, 1 second. I
Beat
think I got some
Hull.
good news.
I think I'm going to end up having to play Liverpool. It'd be fun. I'll get smashed, but it'll be fun. You have good news. What are you talking
So hold on 1 second.
about? Okay.
All right. It wasn't as good as news as I thought.
Oh, okay.
It's just insurance information for my new job.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I couldn't imagine what the good news was going to be. Maybe it was all of the New York Rangers came down with a flu.
Listen, you're in the Facebook group, right? Devils all day, all night.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
They are overreacting to last night's game.
Of course they are. It's only one game.
Like
That's all they ever
it's
do, though, is
beyond
overreact to everything all the time.
it's beyond me how much of an overreaction that they're having.
Yeah, that's what they do, though. I hate to say it, but a lot of the Devils fans are just awful. There's a reason that they
Yeah.
have a reputation for being one of the worst fan bases. That makes me sad
Oh,
because we're in that fan
uh,
base and we're good.
yeah. I think Rochdale's fans are giving us a run for their money
Oh,
right now.
I meant in hockey, but okay.
Yeah,
One
like
of the worst. I didn't say they are the worst, but they're just among them.
they're like I've seen the writing on the wall that Rochdale was going to get relegated back when they signed a 40-year-old striker to be the savior of the team.
Oh yeah,
Like
yeah.
you just don't
They
do
wanted
that.
a Cinderella story, but that's just a bit
You
unrealistic.
just yeah. So everyone's now is now like the like towards February, people started seeing the writing on the wall. But I was like, I saw it at the beginning of the year, and now we're gonna go down to non-league, and we might not exist in 2 years, which is quite sad, must say. Just can't pay the debts, basically.
Depends on what they do with the team. They need to do what Accrington did, and that is sell or release all the player base they have, use what little income they have towards part-time contracts, go part-time, stop being a professional club, and they could probably salvage it.
Hmm.
There are ways to
But
consolidate debts without having to go under.
that is true. That is very true. And the USA plays Mexico tonight, so I'll have that on in the background.
Because a lot of the teams that end up going under, unfortunately, have these prideful owners that would rather see their team go down in flames than actually, let them go and have them be, fixed and saved.
Can you say it again for the owners in the back? Because that's exactly what our owner is.
Yeah. They need to put their pride aside and let the community take the team, or another person that will manage them responsibly.
Exactly. Exactly.
It's okay. At least Wrexham won their division.
No, not yet.
The fact that you know that you're actually paying attention to keeping track, that
God,
just blows my mind.
I hope they get
Uh,
I hope they lose their next 2 games and then lose in the playoffs. That will
oh,
be I will celebrate that
no,
with
I think I know what you want. What you want is for them to magically be found out for FA breaches and get deducted 40 points and be relegated.
well, like I said, it won't be possible until next year. However, Wrexham just needs a win to win the division.
Yeah, they will.
Um oh, but
But
Bromley is now in the playoff spots.
good for them.
So, if Bromley gets promoted instead of Notts County, I'll be okay with that because they're my favorite non-league team. So, it's if Wrexham goes up, either Notts County or Bromley has to go up with them, and
Well,
I'll be happy.
I think that honestly, seeing Wrexham get the following they're getting is good for the nation of Wales. So,
I mean, they have better Welsh teams, but okay,
yeah, I mean, but it's good for them to get any recognition and credit because most of the other Welsh teams don't.
because they're not in the Premier League.
No, exactly. So, any
Once
other,
they get
any,
back,
another big-ish team for them, is good. It's nice to see.
let's see, how is Swansea and Cardiff doing? Let's look.
So.
So Swansea is 13th in the championship.
Yeah, so.
Cardiff is 19th.
Yeah, so. They're both floundering in the middle of the table most of the time, if not fighting bravely against attempted relegation. Though neither of them are going down. I don't. I think they're both safe now.
No. Let's see. 52. Yeah. So the team's still mathematically in danger of relegation in the championship are Stoke, Rotherham. Oh, actually, Cardiff is in there.
Well, Cardiff is still
Uh,
mathematically okay. I thought they got to safety
yeah.
after their last game.
No.
I think they have to lose every game then, don't they? Like get 0 points.
They're 2 points above safety, and they have 4 games remaining.
2 points above safety only?
Everyone,
Oh, I thought they were better than that.
yeah.
Okay, well then I stand corrected on them. They are right there in the scrap for relegation.
Um, let's see.
2 points is nothing.
So yeah, 18th to 22nd is separated by 4 points, and Cardiff is in 19th.
What they must have lost like their last 4 or 5 games in a row. What is their recent
Bear with
record?
me. Let's go with fixtures. They lost one, two, three, four, 5 of the last 6, 7, 8.
That's pretty bad. Okay, yeah, because they were in a much safer spot a while back when I checked on them. Now they're floundering. Well, it's been a little while since I checked clearly, but I'll be sad for them later.
Am I?
Wow.
There we go.
Can we talk about this game I'm playing right now? Wow.
We're losing.
It's 5-0 at the half, and I have 5 different scores.
So it's just another simple game that you have.
This team is incredible.
There you go.
Stephenson scores. Oh, we got a guy with a multiple goal game over here.
There we go.
I like that the 5 different scores. Oh, Stephenson steps up for another free kick. Oh, no hat trick for him, but Boakai gets the rebound. 6th different scorer on the team out of my starting 11.
Oh, that's a lot.
It is. That's not something you see very often.
Okay.
Oh my! Oh, good lord! Don't give it away, you guys. I know you're scoring well, but let's also try to keep the clean sheet.
Oh, before I forget, I need to ask you how to get the real German players on the national team.
Can do.
I need to do that. I need to get the Japanese players as well.
Yeah.
Um, do that, get the Japanese players. What else do I still need to do? I think that's it in terms of database changes before I do my last FM save.
Can do.
Um, bum, bum, bum. Yeah, so I think that's it. Did I tell you what my last save is going to be?
Yeah, I think so. But say it again, just in case I forgot.
So my last save is actually going to take me to FM 25. I'm only going to buy FM 24 to play online games. Um, but essentially, I'm gonna do at least 2 managers in the save. I'm gonna do one that is an MLS team with the U.S. men's national team, so like club and international. That's one manager. Another manager, if my computer can take it, is going to be in the 13th division of England. Uh, because I found a story of this team on YouTube and kind of like fell in love with the team.
Nice.
And if I do a third club, it'll be somewhere in the Caribbean, and I'm just going to try and get them to be a very good team in CONCACAF.
And you, of
But
course, should link all these teams together under one corporate umbrella.
I'm considering it.
That's
I
more fun to
haven't
do it
made
that
the
way.
haven't made the executive decision yet.
It's pretty fun to do it that way. I've played multiple
Well,
manager saves, and I always have more fun when I link the teams up. Even if it's for
like I
nothing
said,
more than just good relations, and because we're under the same umbrella, that's it. Doesn't have to be for loans. It doesn't have to be for sharing money or scouting or any of that. I just
I'll
have
do
more
that
fun.
in the I do that in the pre-game editor.
Yep, it's a lot more fun to
Um,
do that. What a win!
listen, I just want to make sure I have everything all set up before I get too far into the save because the beginning of it is going to take so long setting up three different teams. Like I'm prepared for that,
You are
but
prepared.
I might not do the England one because 13 divisions below is just going to be so much on the computer.
So
Like I can't have a big database
yeah, but
like outside of England.
you're going to be editing things, and so why wouldn't you just use the real names fix that's right on any of the websites?
I do. I do have that. I don't know if see, I haven't taken a look to see if it fixes Germany or fixes Japan.
But they do.
You do?
Yeah, so you don't need my help.
Okay.
The only reason you would need my help is if you wanted to play a game where you still wanted to score points on the leaderboard. Then I can show a person how to
Uh,
get those things fixed so that their
that
save doesn't have any database changes. But you don't care about that. You're gonna have three managers and you're using the pregame editor. So I'm like, just use one of the websites. The one on Roy's website now no longer changes database.
that's
I
the one that I. That's what I do.
Yeah, FM block. Yeah, so I actually mentioned to him like, you should probably put a warning on there that it does database changes and won't let you score points. He's like, really? I'm like, yep, I tested. He's like, oh, and then he fixed it. Now it doesn't do that. So rather than put a warning, he just made it so it doesn't do that. Like that's even better. So yeah,
Right. So, she wanted by anybody.
I sold Dlalos. Dlalos.
When somebody has considering their options, there's no way to get rid of that, right?
Considering their options just means that they want to have offers made for them at the end of their contract. You can be among the teams to make an offer to that player at the end of their contract, but they will not take offers until then.
Gotcha. That I did not know.
Yeah. Considering their options still means you are one of those options. If they say that they are leaving on a free at the end of their contract, they will not listen to you.
Gotcha.
Yeah, if they've decided they're leaving at the end of their contract and there's nothing you can do about it, even when they hit the end of their contract, you can't make an offer because they won't be interested. But if they say they're considering their options, you can still be among their options. It's a wonderful thing.
I don't think many people know that.
I don't see why they wouldn't, because literally you can get a press conference question about it, where they'll say, "So is so and so really considering their options?" And one of the answers is yes, but you have to remember we are among the teams that could be an option. It's literally one of the answers, right in the answer. I guess who reads those? It's just occurring to me. I'm like, nobody actually reads those.
Yeah, no, not many. Because usually they know which two buttons to click to get a somewhat positive response.
Oh yeah, I know exactly which buttons to press. Yeah.
I still actually read them.
Can't be bothered. I already know them all off by heart. Because they're the exact same answers every time for like the last however many FMs, FM 15, I think, was when the questions went super in depth and haven't really changed them since then. They've added a couple more, but that's it. Most of the time, the option I want isn't even there.
Oh, what did I? What's the field? There was some. Oh, so for international management, I know they don't touch this, but this was an idea. Sorry, this is in my head now, and I don't want to lose it. Uh, so you know how if a player is not has not declared for a national team, you can try and ask them to represent your nation.
Hmm.
There should be a list in your national pool of just players who are uncommitted to a national team.
Well,
That way you
there's a
can.
status symbol that shows up.
Yes, there's that, but when you have a national pool of over 450 players, it might take a while to see all those uncommitted
Okay.
status symbols.
I think those uncommitted status symbols are pretty clear, but 450 players, my God, man, trim the fat off of that.
Uh, it's listen with the U.S. It's hard to trim the fat. So
I,
it's
hmm, uh,
I actually don't know how many players are in my national pool at the current moment.
if it's anything more than a couple hundred, it's too many.
It is a lot, I will say that, and
Yeah,
I'm not even done with all my scouting yet.
just don't forget to add all of the youth players every single year manually.
Yeah, that's basically I basically scout them. You know what? I can try and figure this out right now. On average, there's 20 players per youth team. How many teams are in MLS?
I don't know. One sec, I'll be right back. Okay?
21. Yep. Thank you. Another one?
Ah, good times. My brand new sink has got a small leak.
Sorry, say that again?
My brand new sink has a small leak.
Oh no, that's not good.
I'll have to get the person that installed it to come and fix it up for me.
Absolutely.
Gotta play. This is cup, right? Yeah, FA trophy. And then I don't play for a whole week, so there's no reason not to play my first team, even if they're all on heavy match loads. You know what? I'm going to start Bloxham today because I can, and because he's likely going to be my starting striker next season.
Mhm.
The Build the Base FA Trophy or Build Base. Build Base? What's Build Base?
I think it's built. I always mess that up too.
Because I want to say Build the Bear, but it's
Can-
uh, wow. I don't know what it is, but there's one in Edmonton. Looks like a construction company of some kind.
Getting a bunch of mail today.
In the game or IRL?
No, in real IRL.
Oh, yep. Adulting will do that to you.
Yeah,
It gets to a point where you celebrate the days with no mail because no news is good news.
because I'm not in trouble or anything.
Well, I mean, no bills, no bad mail. Yeah, I like no mail is my favorite mail. My second favorite is
What?
when somebody decides to send me a check, but that almost never happens in paper anymore. So
Yeah. What? How is your best position of roaming playmaker? So I mean, let's see if that works. Thompson.
is it a roaming playmaker in the defensive mid position? Because those are amazing.
No. I don't know. See if I can go like this. Attacking midfielder, defense playmaker, J, shadow striker. What you finishing at? That's your free kick taking. Your finishing is at a 1. Let's keep you in the midfield. Let's do centimeter on attack then. You in support. Maybe as Gonzala.
It's annoying.
No, we're just gonna leave you like this. Okay.
All right. Buxton, eh? Division are they in? One below us. Bloxham opens the scoring. Look at that. That's why I started him.
Oh, we're playing with a 4-4-2.
That's pretty standard in this level. Still, I think about half the teams use it.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Buxton's playing it against me in this cup game. They're in a league lower, but yeah, 4-4-2. Good old standard. This is amazing to me because finding players that play the left and right of the midfield like that, they're a lot more rare.
Yeah, that's true.
I have a hard time.
Normally, it's the attacking
Mm.
midfield positions that they're natural at.
Yeah, the wingers. Exactly.
I don't know. Eight XG and it's still 0-0.
Want to borrow a goal? I got an extra.
I would love to.
Okay. I'll have my guys go score you one right now. There you go. That one's for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, sending it over.
We almost got it, but
Well, we actually legit scored right then. Like right when I said, "Yeah, we'll just go score one for you right now." Then we scored. Oh, here's another one. No, that one's offside. You can't have that one. It's offside.
eh, I appreciate the thought.
Yeah,
It's the thought that counts.
absolutely. Road to hell is paved with good intentions. I mean, it's the thought that counts.
All right, it's 0-0 at halftime.
4-0 at halftime. Yeah. I have been playing a much easier opponent than you. You have a league game right now, don't you?
Yes, sir.
That's a slightly different thing than what I'm doing. Stephenson is very tight. He's so sleepy. And dark, 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 dark.
I'm gonna have to utilize the a lot next year.
Oh, Chabert, that was an amazing goal. Do it again. Oh, here comes another free kick from him. Bit far away to do it again from there. Yeah, no, that wasn't close.
All right. You're on a 6.2. Let's take you out. Not yet, though.
Oh, Davenport, what are you doing? Wide open net. The ball's right there. You just got to tap it in. You don't just watch it roll out of bounds. You bonehead. Ugh. It's like he's surprised to see a ball on the pitch. Oh my god, a ball! uh, I didn't want to touch it with my foot. It was dirty. It had grass stains on it. I could just try to imagine the kinds of things that made him not kick that just then. Ew, there was a bug on it. Yeah. Oh, come on. Oh, you guys are getting so close. Ah, there's one. Okay. That's what we were looking for. This team is so much better than my Stevenage one. uh, Still so pissed off that I got a undefeated season and didn't win Manager of the Year. Like how is that even a thing?
You've done it with me last year.
What do you mean? You finished first and didn't win it?
No,
Oh, I
you
didn't.
finished
Yeah,
first.
but that's because of the expectations. You know, like my team wasn't even expected to be promoted, and I got an undefeated season. Like, how is
Sure.
that not Manager of the Year worthy?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I
I
always thought it's just a difference between where you were expected to finish and where you actually finished.
well then I
It's two different
still
things
had
for
the
you.
largest chasm of finishing above where I should have. Well, no, I guess the team that finished third, which is who won it, he was supposed to be in the relegation fight when they finished third and won the playoff to go up. But still, I won the game with won the league with 8 games to spare.
Okay.
Had the
Is
first and third highest scorers. Geez, that's a tough game. It's actually more even than I thought it was going to be when I looked at the numbers.
It is what it is.
You'll tweak it.
Palmer wants an improved deal for some guy I've never heard of.
Gotta love it.
Thank you.
11 games to go. It's 33 points, which means 102, which means if I win my next game, I clinch this division. I thought I had it already, if I'm honest. I need 2 more points. So if I get 3, that'll be that. And with 10 games to spare, that's winning it with even more than games to spare than my last one. And I'll probably still not get Manager of the Year.
You might. Your first year, at least.
They'll probably give it to you after you win the playoffs.
I don't think this team can win the playoffs. I really don't.
Well, you don't know what's going to happen once you get there. I mean, that's the only way you get to go up, right? It's in first or through the playoffs.
Check this
Stupid thing only has one automatic promotion spot, which I agree with a certain actor is not enough.
No, it's two totally different leagues. I'm perfectly fine with the way it is.
I wish there was 2 automatic promotion spots,
Mm-mm. Well,
3 relegation from League 2.
no, there's two divisions below, so make it an even number.
What? There's a what
What's
are you talking?
theater?
League 2 should have 3 relegation spots, and Van Ramel National should have 3 promotion spots.
No, because you're going from the football league to the national league. It's two separate entities. It's like I actually don't know an equivalent to that. It's like Scotland. Scotland's League Two is going from the Scotland Football League pyramid to the non-league system. You shouldn't have any teams going between the two. There should be a It's almost like it's exclusive. Um, yeah, like I said, going from the football league to the national league, I'm totally okay with it. Just being two spots.
I wish it was 3.
We're all allowed to have incorrect opinions.
I Wait, what?
We're all allowed to have incorrect
And
opinions.
it's not incorrect. I mean,
Oh,
4 teams go from 1 down to 2. 3
yeah,
teams go from
that's true.
championship down. 3 teams go from Premier League down. It's so inconsistent, the numbers that promote and demote. So I just suddenly it's only 2. I don't like it.
It used to be by vote, believe it or not.
About who goes up and down? Oh my
Yeah,
god.
way back in the day, there
So
used to be
so
a
if you're
vote.
an owner who said something that pissed off the other owners, you're out.
Well, I don't know exactly how it went down, but a lot of teams, not a lot of teams, and I'm talking back like pre 1900.
Yeah,
Um, I guess owners would have a vote for a team to actually go down or not. I really don't know.
that's
I
ridiculous.
should probably look more into it.
It sounds like a horrible system. No, but at the time they probably thought it was the best. I mean, they couldn't just do it by merit. Math hadn't been invented yet.
Sure.
Uh, uh, Ben
Um,
Blythe wants to discuss personal matters. I don't really know who. Oh, you haven't played a single game for me, and I don't care what you have to say. Nice, let's talk. Playing time I was promised hasn't happened, so I want to go on loan. I'm just going to let you go. Oh, forget I said anything. I'm such a jerk. Yes, you are.
so
Sit in the
is my
corner. Think about it.
board gonna allow me to renew contracts based on the next year's transfer wage budget?
Well, if you click on finances, you see there's a thing where your wage budget is. There's the current spending and committed spending.
Yeah, it's
Then
on the
there's
same.
next season's wage budget per week. It's under at the very bottom.
Yeah.
So committed spending can't go over next season's budget.
Okay. Wow.
Just like current spending can't go over your current wage budget. So if you're signing somebody for the end of the season, it will count for next season.
What if you resign somebody?
It counts for both now and later.
Oh, well then I won't be able to do that. I don't think.
They'll let you go over a little bit this late on. Do you have a
It's
positive balance or no?
yeah,
You have a positive overall balance?
yeah,
Then
because
they'll
I
let you
bought
go over.
7 million.
Then they'll let you go
Yeah,
over. Yeah.
yeah. So I need to take some time to get these contracts renewed.
I think that sounds like a
Make it
wonderful
renewed.
idea. Keep your team intact.
Yeah.
I just want to win my next game so I can get my budget for next season. Having said that, I still
Uh,
have almost 1 million in my budget sitting here. And a lot per week I'm not spending yet. Man, this team's too rich for its own good. Honestly, if I knew it was going to be like this, like they had this much money and there's nothing I'm actually doing to build this up, I may not have suggested we move. But that's okay. I'm good with it. It's going to be fun trying to go up divisions now.
no worries. I'm gonna give it my best shot.
Oh, you're coming up with me. Are coming up with me. Even if I have to drop an anchor around your Tommy Doyle's neck and pick your team up. Speaking of him, is
So
he
that's one. That's two. They go
he's
automatically.
exploring his options? He's listed at 850K. I see.
300.
But you're not actually accepting bids of 850K for him.
Thank you. Um, what do you, if you want to make a bid for him, go ahead.
I already did earlier, remember? And you turned it down.
Yeah, I know.
And you were like, no.
I wanted to try and keep him.
It's hard. I know. I have a player just like that on, like I said, on the Stevenage one, and I managed to hang on to him to the end of the first season. We've gone up to League Two, and he still doesn't want to stay. So I'm like, well, I guess I'm going to lose him. But he helped me get there, so I'll just replace his ass. And sayonara. Oh, he is my best player. It's sad to see him go. Best player and my captain. Oh, I'm going to cry. I'm kidding. I'm good. Who would I be replacing if I got him in? Is there anything you can do with your money from your manager contract? Well, the money from your manager contract has only one function in the game,
Thank you.
and I'll show you what it is. When you go here to your,
What was
when you, something wrong, Jacob?
I was saying goodnight to my little sister.
Oh, okay. Cool. Just wanted to be sure. So when you look at your job security, it's a factor. How much money you make. If it's too expensive to fire your ass, your job security actually is higher. That's all it does. Is creates extra job security. That's it. You got an ad. Okay, well, I can't do a lot about those. Let me know when you can hear me.
Well, he won't hear that if he has an ad.
Ah, you never know. He might be like, I hear you now. Yeah, he says now he's ready. Okay, so
Oh,
when you go to your job security, like you can look at other managers' job security, but you can also check your own. Um, that's all that factors into is if it's too expensive to fire you, your job security is actually higher. That's all it does. Nothing else. The money you make makes it so that your job is more stable and secure. So when people are like, "Oh, I'm just going to sign on my team for like $20 a week so that I save the team money," I'm like, "Yeah, but then it's really easy to fire you if when they want to." Yeah, because the amount of money it will cost them to fire you is a factor. Just like when you try to release a player and your team can't afford it, and they're like, "No, we can't afford to release that player." You're stuck with them. Sometimes you are that person that the team is stuck with. That's all your manager money does. This is super ironic though, because it was what, like 4 or 5 years ago when I compiled the list of the most requested features in Football Manager. And the number one most requested feature in Football Manager is to be able to do something with the money you make. And it's one of the many, many things Miles has already said it'll never happen. So
never, ever, ever.
never, ever, ever. He's like, just go play The Sims. That's literally what he said in his tweet. He's like, if you want that, just go play The Sims. Not going to turn it into a Sims game. So if you want to learn something extra fun, there is a game. I don't know if you heard of it. It's an older game. It was called FIFA Manager. It was EA Sports attempt at Football Manager. But did you know you could get the most recent version, which was 14, and download a fan patch, which you just look up FIFA Manager fan patch 22-23, play the current season on that game. And on that game, you can do things with your money, like buy your team, invest in whatever, in houses and wives and jewelry and kids and boats and cars and all that good stuff. So you've been playing for a month with a friend. You legit only play games and get scouts players. You don't know what to do with the rest of it. Oh, thanks for that. Yeah, I've been working on this game for like 2 decades now.
Thanks.
So yeah. I know exactly what's going. If you ever want to know an actual answer to an actual thing about this game, come ask me. Because I actually know because I worked on this game. Not too many people can say that. Some people guess. They're like, I don't know. I think it might be. Although that's, the funny thing is, I don't know everything. If I don't know, I will tell you I don't know. And then I might try to find out if I get curious enough. Sometimes, though, I try to ask questions. It was not that long ago somebody asked me a question about the game, and I'm like, oh, I don't know that one. Let me go find out. And I went and I asked one of the higher up developers, and he wouldn't tell me. It's like, no, that's one of the things we keep secret. God damn you. Too many secrets. I don't like it. They should be more open about how the game works. Rather
So
than
I
scared
don't
people will
know
steal their functions.
what I just remembered from this game that I forgot existed.
Uh, yeah, actually.
Um, so when a player has an orange injury status next to their name,
Yes.
you can put their individual training to general rehab.
Hmm.
And as far as I understand, they don't really lose attributes much, and they
Yeah. And then they will end up
like
recovering
look.
at the longer
What's that?
rate. The longer
Oh,
rate.
really?
Yeah.
So there is a trade off. That I didn't know.
Yeah. So remember when it says 4 to 6 weeks injury? If you put him on general
Uh-huh.
rehab, he still trains, it'll be 6 weeks. If you put him on rest, no training, it'll be 4 weeks.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah. You have direct influence over
But
that.
but if you do rest with no training, who it's possible for him to lose attributes
Absolutely.
points.
It's the same as just not training somebody. Yeah, absolutely. But if he's young
Whereas
enough, who cares? He'll recover.
true,
Yeah,
true, true.
if he's
If
like
he's older, you
26
want
or younger, they usually recover those attribute points within a few months of playing. So,
okay.
and they won't fall off too much. If they're like in their 30s, though, yeah, you actually have to think about that. You'd be like, is it worth it for this guy to lose 5 ability points right now? Because he may never get those back.
Yeah.
Am I Danish? I am not Danish. I'm Canadian. We decided to play in Denmark for our Build a Nation because it was the one we chose this year. Last year we did Ireland. This year we did Denmark. But now we're playing in England because we already did our Build a Nation in Denmark and we did it quite well. So we're celebrating by taking over our favorite lowish league teams in Football Manager. That's what we're doing now. It's playing very casually, as opposed to the very, very serious nature of our usual games, which is just not true. We're not that serious. You're from Norway. That's why you wondered. Oh, that's cool. That's awesome. How's the weather in Norway today? Quite good, I hope. Norway. Time is it over there? It's like the middle of the night, isn't it? No, it'd be like the early
Yeah, but
morning.
they also have. If he's in the northern part of Norway, he also has no nighttime either.
It's like
So
4 in the morning in Norway right now.
yeah, but it can be sunny. It's sunny out.
Three
So just
51.
like
That's what I
northern.
said. 4 in the morning. Yeah. Sorry, could be
Is it
sunny.
sunny out by you?
Yeah.
That's a better question.
Yeah, yeah, no, no. My partner's from France, so she knows what time it is over there. It's snowing and raining. Sounds like Norway.
Yeah.
That's about right. Eh, doesn't mean it has to be bad weather, but yeah, it's snowing and raining. Yeah. What else is new? I love it.
It's almost 10 o'clock, which means the USA Mexico game is about to start.
Yeah, 10 o'clock on the East
I
Coast for you. It's not even 8 for me, man. It
probably can put the pregame on now.
it
Let's see.
early over here for me. I do know who the streamer Zealand is. Yes, I am well aware of his existence. He is the biggest FM streamer on the internet. Yeah, I don't know why, but he is. I mean, I know why I'm not because I stream at really weird times. That's my biggest thing. The people who know me well. They're like, "Oh, that's the guy who actually works on the effing game. He knows the answer to thing." Zealand is right about 80% of the time. It's pretty good, but he's wrong about some things and doesn't like to admit it. And that's my only beef with him. Other than that, he's pretty chill, decent guy.
We just got scored on from the kickoff.
Ouch! Right from the kickoff, like a minute in. Damn.
No, 14 seconds in.
14 seconds. Well, it's going to be marked as 1 minute. But yeah, ouch. That's a determined team. That's like last night when I was watching the start of the Devils Rangers game. The Rangers were up 2-0
Oh,
inside of 4 minutes. I'm like, well, they want this one.
yeah. not get reminded of that, please.
Would you ever consider doing a save your save kind of concept on me and my friends save? Like 5 to 10 minutes, just going over what we have done and should do. You both know very little. I mean, I'd be happy to help, but what do you mean save your save? You want me to load your
So
save and go
saviors,
through it?
yeah. So savior save is a concept that Zealand does essentially, where people will send their saves to him, and he'll basically tell you what you should do to literally save your save from, like, you getting fired, or you not meeting the expectations by your
Oh,
board.
okay, yeah, yeah, okay. I think
And
somebody talked about that a little bit in our forums.
yeah, it's essentially, loans, have a positive bank balance. Um, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of player turnover if you're in the lower divisions.
Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know that's a big
Um,
thing. Yeah. Try,
tactics, obviously.
that's my specialty right there. Tactics. So you know all those in-game pre-made tactics. You're welcome. Although sometimes it's not a good thing. People are like, God damn it, the Gengen press is way too overpowered. I'm like, we tried to make it not so overpowered, but it's overpowered in real life. What do you want me to do? Although it's starting to get really countered well this year, isn't it? Like all of our research this year has shown that not just Liverpool, but a lot of the teams who use it have actually been starting to get quite well countered. It's like when Tiki Taka was the really big thing, and then teams started figuring out how to counter that. It's starting to go that way with the Gengen press as well. So it's neat to watch.
I would like some sort of progressive AI as you play through the seasons. Different types
Hmm.
of tactics work throughout.
Yeah.
Let's say the late 2020s of a save, and then the
Oh,
2030s. It's
wouldn't that be great?
maybe, yeah, it would be.
I wish there was like more elaborate AI in this game that could do stuff like that. But man, they just so
Yeah,
stubborn about adapting the AI in this game. They don't want to make it too complex because the more complex it is, the more things that can go wrong and yada yada yada. I mean, the excuses for why they won't make the AI in this more realistic, I guess. I don't want to use that word. Everybody tries to use the word realistic with Football Manager, and you have to suspend disbelief far too often for that to be the case. But I love how they want to make the game realistic. Like, how many times has Miles used that buzzword? We want to make the game realistic. And I'm like, but you've missed in so many places. You won't do this feature because it's not realistic, but it does this, and this. I mean, right off the top of my head, how many managers actually make signings? I don't want them to take that out. I love making my own signings, but it doesn't happen much in real life anymore. Oh, okay.
I,
Whew. Nice
I
goal.
seriously don't think this team's going to get promoted.
I'm sorry to hear that. You should, based on the players you have. I could do a save your save for your team, Jacob. I'll take
I
over your
think we all
team and
know
I'll
how that
finish
would go.
second. Your team is good enough to finish second. Uh, I'm not gonna. Who am I to talk? I'm not even gonna have an undefeated season this year. I already lost one. One. One stinking random game to who was it? Barnett? Yeah, it was Barnett. Sure. I didn't even know how it happened. I'm like, how did I just lose that game? It happens from time to time. I have one loss and one draw, and then other than that, with 10 games to go, I believe it's 10. I've won every game.
We
So I
played
don't
in
know.
Discord.
Save your save concept is interesting. However, I think for me it'd be simple as like, what do you want? If you just want to win everything and not learn it yourself, I'll just give you a tactic that'll win everything. That's not fun. But yeah, learning how to do every little aspect of it. Yeah, I mean we could talk about it. Yes. I don't know. I don't. I mean, I only stream this like twice a week with Jacob. I streamed it alone. I suppose I could do it on Friday. I have nothing that day. But again, it's like 4 in the morning for you when I'm streaming. If that works for you, I could try to figure something out. Let's got to figure out where to upload it. Man, sorry, my brain's just working. How does he get people saves? Email it to him?
The Discord yeah, essentially.
Oh, through his Discord. Oh yeah, no, I'm not inviting
Yeah.
a bunch of people into my Discord. It's full enough. uh, I mean, I'm not to sound like rude or anything. I mean, it's going to sound that way. It doesn't matter what I do. Fuck it, I'll just say it. I only invite subscribers onto my Discord, sadly, because the otherwise it'll just be chaos, maniacs everywhere. I had made the mistake of inviting other people onto my Discord, and they just lots of them have turned into jerks. So I try to avoid that now because I've got a really chill crowd that just likes to be super. I He's just gonna shut me up right now. Thank you. Okay, fine. You've made your point. Damn it. Problem solved. Well, it solves your problem of having to watch a stinking ad too, if I'm honest. So I was really not asking for that, but I super appreciate it nonetheless. Wow. You know what's extra funny is I didn't even try to become an affiliate, and it bloody happened. And I'm just like, I'm just playing this for fun. I don't care if I get, subscriptions or anything. And I've been getting a bunch. I'm like, okay, whatever. That's great. These people are awesome. All right, I gotta get a link here. We got a few people that chat Football Manager. I don't only play Football Manager, just so you know. So there's lots of other things going on in the group. I'm getting booped on top of it all. Hey, at least my sound alerts are working. Now I don't have to wonder about that. Where the hell is the. I don't want to time you out. I want to send you a private message. There is that. And how do I send you a private message? Do you have private messages disabled, perchance? I'm just going to go right to your actual page thingy. Some
I
people
don't
do
even
that.
know who's managing the US team tonight.
All right, I'm just going to put it on the chat on your actual Discord. Tell me if you got that. I put it on your chat on your Discord. Because I think you have PMs disabled. And that's okay. I don't want you to have to turn them back on just in case somebody was annoying you at some point. Most people have a reason for turning them off. So. Board set initial budgets. Oh, look at that. We won the division. Yay. 1.89 million with a weekly wage of 62,000. Goo. This is for League 2.
That's double what my board is saying.
That's sickening. I ay ay ay. I there's just no words. Right, I can't keep Pop off. I don't think I can keep Foisey. I'm almost 100% certain they're not going to keep him. Nope. Oh, well, I looked. Invalid invite. Oh, that's not good. Certainly don't want that. Let me try that again. Send a server invite. Got this copy.
The All-State Continental Classico. They have
Oh, it's the
sponsorships
same freaking
for the
link.
USA Mexico game.
How is it an invalid invite? Sent the exact same link. That's the link for the next 7 days. It doesn't expire for 7 days. How could it be? That is perplexing. Well, you know what? Just for fun, because I don't have a ton of viewers right now, I will put it in my own chat
Wait.
to see if it works. But if somebody other
Put
than
it in
you
your chat.
joins, I'm just gonna.
Joins, delete it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'll put it in my own chat because there's not many people right now. Who else is gonna jump on it, right? It's not like I have a whole bunch of people and somebody's just gonna click on that and steal it. Okay, that seems to have worked. There we go. There we go. Your name is. Whoa! That is. I can't even read that. I'm gonna have to give you a nickname. Uh, just for myself though. It's a good one. That is a very fun banner you have. I'm not entirely sure what is that, a gorilla? It's a I'm not sure what he's doing. What is that? I don't know if that's an ape or what that is, but what is he doing? Okay, I was just mesmerized by that for a moment. Mhm. How's your contracts going? They're going better, I hope.
Uh, okay. I'm trying to fix this tactic right now. Um,
I was wondering if that's what that monkey's doing. Why do you have a monkey doing that? That's disturbing. It gets people mesmerized because what mesmerizes me is I'm like, you wouldn't actually put that on your profile, would you? that's not that's not okay.
so wait. Uh, AGF qualified for the championship group. That's a given.
Okay,
AGF is in first place.
nice.
Did we make it out of the Champions League group stage? Let's find that out. Lingby made it to the playoffs. We did not. We got knocked out of the league phase. The playoff round, Lingby beat Stade Rennais 4-0. I'm sorry, 5-0 on aggregate. So they're in the round of 16. Lingby still doing Lingby things.
So they're doing okay, but not great.
They're doing okay in Europe, but not great in the league.
Oh well, it's a slip. Yeah, I suppose we could make some time to look over your game. I'm having one of those uncomfortable moments where I'm like, I am super not okay with that banner on there. I hmm, not sure what to do or say about it, but hopefully it's something that's easily changeable because it's just trying to be funny in a awkward way, but not actually something that you believe in. If you know what I mean. Well, I just hope it's not something that you actually support. Let's go with that.
Uh, Quite interesting, I would
Oh,
say.
yeah. Yeah.
All right, let's continue on in the game.
Yeah. It just has to be weird socially awkward moments from time to time in life. It's an inevitability.
All right, so the 5-6 guy has signed a new contract with the club.
The 5'6" guy. Why did you keep him? He's been you hated him for how long? How long you just like this
I
guy's
still do.
terrible. Can't wait to get rid of
I
him.
still
Why keep
listen.
him?
He's improved on his crossing, so he's giving me hope right now.
Oh, so he can actually
So
contribute something other than
no. It's still at a 4, but
he has 4 crossings. Sign that man to a new contract.
listen, it's. I don't have anybody else.
What?
Well, I do, but he was injured, so
You can sign other players in
oh,
the off season. You didn't need to hold on to that guy.
I'm gonna need to sign like 10 people in the off season
Yeah, that's normal. That's
somehow, some
normal
way.
turnover for this level. You literally just said it earlier. At this level, you can't be afraid to let go of players. You just said that. And
I
it's
know.
true because it's you said part of Zealand's lesson. Well, I agree with him. Yeah, at that level, you cannot be afraid to just let go of players, especially if you don't think that they're that great. So you sign a guy who's a little bit less able to contribute in other ways, but if he has more crossing or is 4 inches taller, sorry, the 5'6" guy, the fact that we even call him that is still still the funniest part to me. Like that's his name. We don't know his actual name. He's the 5'6" guy.
His real name is Christian Burberry,
Okay, and oh right. I remember him in,
but his full name is Christian the 5'6" guy Burberry.
but he plays left back, so he doesn't have to be that tall. But with four
Well,
crossing at
his
left back,
his natural position initially was center back,
oh yeah, you don't
and
want to.
I proceeded to slap him across the
You put
face.
a stop to that. That's good. You
And
don't.
exactly.
You really
Now
don't
he's out
want that.
wide.
Yeah, okay. That makes a lot more sense to me. Yeah,
He's a
because
project. Let's put it that way.
I mean, you don't have to be tall to be a wingback. You just don't.
Yeah, but he wouldn't even make your under 19s.
I mean, yeah, okay. I don't know what his overall is. I'd have to look at him to actually try to figure it out. Math. I remember the last time I looked at him, I wondered why he was on your team. He didn't seem that good. Oh my gosh, I'll take it. That's not the goal I expected to see, but that goalkeeper got a big piece of that ball. How did it go in? Oh yeah, no replays. Oh well, I'm taking it. No
How,
pride, don't care.
let's see, how close are we to finishing this chess tournament?
Playing a chess tournament too. Damn,
I've been
multitasking.
in a chess tournament since October. It's a 3 days per move tournament.
Or the multitaskiest.
Well, when you have 3 days to make a move, it's not hard, but um, I've made it to the third round, which is pretty cool.
That is cool. Pretty well.
Thank you.
Do do do. There's another goal. Boise on a penalty. I like when he scores. I'm gonna miss him a lot. This is definitely the best striker I've ever had at this level, ever. And he was already at the team when I got here, so that was nice. Uh, uh, there we
Oh,
go.
so I have no scouting budget. So
Perfect. Now I will know. Oh, I put the frickin' dots at the end of it. I didn't mean to do that. Uh, that's extra funny. I will fix that. I made a small oops.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom like quick
Uh-huh.
since you have a game and I don't.
Well, oh, you're not playing a game? Okay, that makes sense.
No.
Cool. View. Aggressive. Why is Stephenson continuously being aggressive mood? Oh, we got him inspired again. I wish my best midfielder wasn't always in an aggressive mood. I guess it's better than being down or complacent or something. Go for praise. It's an early one. Only up 2, but we are dominating the numbers. I won't put on time wasting yet, unless we get a goal here. Oh, nice save. The hell? Truman, you're having a hell of a game. He's already held me back from my XG, so screw that guy. There we go. Now I can turn on time wasting and probably make a couple subs. So I'm going to take Stephenson off. Boise as well. Give them a rest, hopefully. Hopefully we don't lose. Too much possession without Stephenson. They get a scoring chance immediately after my substitutions. Go figure, eh? Good thing I didn't change my goalkeeper, I guess. Oh my gosh, these guys are just trying to throw away the clean sheet. Get it together. I think I subbed off my entire back line. Gosh darn it, man. Oh, that one went off the post. Skinny defender behind my goalkeeper saved that. Thank goodness for him. Just get through the last few minutes. Pump them up with the praise. It ought to do it. And it does. Oh, I love the new system actually. It's I know it's confusing at first, but I'll tell you why I like it. So in the old system, you'd have a division of 4 and you'd play 3 teams twice each. So you'd play 6 games and you'd see the same 3 teams over and over. In the new system, however, teams are seeded, all right? And you will play 8 games against 8 different opponents. It'll be based on seeding, so you're not going to play, 8 top teams if you just snuck in, because that would just be lunacy. You'd lose them all. But no, you're going to get a weighted system whereby you're going to get 8 games against opponents of varying strength and size in the Champions League, but it'll be 8 completely different teams, and I love it. It's more variety. So if anything, it's actually kind of good for smaller teams because you have a chance at winning half of your games. Which in the old system, if you got a really tough A and B team, and sometimes even a tough C team, you didn't have a chance of winning half of your games, which is kind of necessary in order to finish where you need to keep playing. Also, for qualification purposes, a lot more teams get in. I think it's the top 14, 8 plus 6, or is it 16? No, actually, I think it's 16, 8 and 8.
For
Uh,
what?
for the new qualification for the new European League system.
You qualify after the league phase.
Yeah, it's how many teams get in.
So, so the top 8
Top
move
8.
on to the round of 16,
Yes.
which is what you see in the green.
Mm-hmm.
And then teams 9 through 24 play
24.
a one game.
Right.
Yeah, teams
Yeah.
9 through 24 play a
Right.
one game playoff
Yeah. So it's the
to
next
determine the other
16.
8 teams.
Right. So you just
Yeah.
got to be in the top 24 to get into knockouts, which is cool. You played Marseille in the league phase and Rangers next. So that's 2 out of 8. That's right. 2 out of 8. You're going to have 8 games against 8 different teams. It's great. Love it. Way more variety. And you have a way bigger chance of getting into knockouts than before. So far, I like the new system a lot. I've managed to sneak into knockouts with smaller teams more often with the new system. as in before, where I'd often finish 3rd or 4th with smaller teams and be like, well, I never really had a chance because I had to play friggin' Real Madrid twice and I had to play Liverpool twice. What am I supposed to do? In this system, you will never play those 2 teams twice. Maybe once each, but it's much better. Yeah. Just finish in the top 24. That's all you got to worry about. After that, it's just one game at a time. Drop Bear, how's it going? I'm doing great. We're explaining the new European League system that I'm actually one of the few people that's excited about it.
Enjoy it as well.
Real Madrid won Europa League last season. Club with Champions League in their DNA. Well, I'm not surprised they won it if they were in it.
Mhm.
Shame they had to be down there, but it is what it is. Conville. McConville's managing Scunthorpe. You traitor!
I don't know
Although
who that is.
one of the Accrington Stanley player legends. He played for them for a while. Looks like he managed them. Yeah, okay. He retired, became manager. Then he managed Chesterfield. Then he went back to Accrington Stanley's manager, and now he's at Scunthorpe. I'm just unimpressed to see him at a I wouldn't say rival team, but not a team that we necessarily like. So
Mhm.
I mean, it could be worse. He could have gone to Morecambe. Then it would be worse. That's definitely Stanley's biggest rival. Found two great head scouts. That I'd like to say that's good, but that's actually kind of bad, isn't it? Because you can only name one of them the head scout. uh, it's good and bad. Wait, I'm playing Brighton. I just now realized I have to play Brighton in the FA Cup. That's a
Good
game
luck.
for my backups. West Ham have Pep and Tuchel as chief
No, no.
scouts.
You won
What?
the league. Go for it.
Oh, god damn it. I don't even know if anybody's fresh enough to play this, but did you hear that? West Ham have Pep and Tuchel as chief scouts.
How do you have two chief scouts?
How can a team have two chief scouts? 2040.
Pictures
That
are
I don't care what year it is. How do they have two chief scouts? I'm so confused. Unconfuse me. Hit the unconfuse button. Uh, I'll show you the screenshot. I mean, that okay. You can show me they have two head scouts. I'm not saying I don't believe you. I just want to know how they did it. You don't know. You probably don't. You're not playing as them, right? Because you're currently Liverpool.
I have not seen the Ted Lasso series.
What is it?
I was just asking if we've seen it.
No, I know, but what is it?
It's like an American takes over Spurs or something like that
Oh,
in the most American way, like
oh.
all American mannerisms.
Why would I want to watch that?
Well, you wouldn't, but a lot of people have.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure they have. I'm just not American. Doesn't interest me. I mean, I guess I could watch it just for the lulls and poke fun at it. That could be good. You posted it. Okay, I believe. Have a peek at it. It's not like I don't believe you, man. And it's weird that they got Pep and Tuchel as head scouts.
Wow.
Pep Guardiola and Thomas Tuchel, chief scout, chief scout. That's some hacksaws right there, man. That's what that is. I have no
You have
idea
the
how that
in-game
happened.
editor on.
Hmm? Even if you have the in-game editor on and somebody was to move a manager as a chief scout, if you then tried to name another person as chief scout, it would fire the original chief scout. So it wasn't done with the editor. Yeah. I don't know how that happened. Yeah, that's a problem. That's a bit of an error. I'd report it as a bug. I do it for you, but I can't post your save. So here, it's a real American series. It's a team called Richmond, but it's not much football in it. But really fun series. Okay. Well, I don't watch a lot of TV, unfortunately. I don't get a ton of time for watching shows. Shows I do watch, I watch with my wife, and well, I don't think she'd be all that interested in a football series. Well, it depends on how entertaining it was, but in this case, probably not. Especially if it's Americans doing American type things. She's
I
quite.
thought it was Spurs. My mistake.
It's all good. They have players based on Zlatan, Grealish, Saka. Wait, they have Ibrahimovic really? uh, no,
I think you can only watch it on Apple TV though.
I have
I think.
torrent. I can watch anything.
Yeah. Okay.
So
So just disregard what I said.
yeah, I will. When I have reached 2040, the odds to see that. Yeah, you're at 2040. And you're still at Liverpool, right? Yeah, I think you're still there. Hold the phone. Just posted a picture. It should tell me. It doesn't. This is a picture of West Ham, and nowhere else on the screen does it tell me which team you're playing as. You're probably still Liverpool. If you changed clubs, you probably would have told me. Latin scored a scorpion and bicycle kick, and yeah. You've been offered the West Ham job. Wait, you could get the job for that team. Then you can sort out why they have two chief scouts. I mean, see if you can use them both. That's awesome. I love it. I think those guys would be managers.
All right, USA Mexico is just about to start.
Ibrahimovic scored a bunch of really fun goals, did he?
Don't tell him everything, because then he'll have no incentive to watch.
I still have no incentive to watch. I'm not going to watch. Tell me as much about it as you like, because I'm probably never going to watch it.
Hmm. Mexican player's already down. 10 seconds in.
Is this like an animated series or something? I remember somebody did an animated series based on Stars of Football or something, and it was really hilarious.
We've gone up 1-0.
Hey, that's better. Did you fix your tactic, or are you just staying resilient and waiting for it to start working itself out?
I think I moved a little bit.
Okay.
I fixed the instructions a little bit
All right. I've just gone down 1-0 because it's fucking Brighton. Why am I trying to play these guys with my first team?
because you won the league, and
Jacob,
why not get some more money?
I hold you responsible for this. I'm not beating
Are you home
Brighton
or away?
away.
Hey, you can make the money. Force a replay.
I don't see us even coming close to beating a Premier League team right now. We're a national team. Come on. I mean, I did really good knocking out a couple championship sides. That was nice, but they played their B players and they got punished for it. These guys are not playing the B players. They've got McAllister out there.
Because
Something.
now they can see themselves possibly winning it.
Well, this is it. Eh? It's late now. It's the fifth round. It's at that time when teams are just like, ah, we might have a run at the FA Cup here. And Stevenson almost tied it. That would have been nice. Still, though,
See?
no, don't say C. I got one small chance where he missed the net entirely. It's not like we're going to suddenly get in there and.
That's one small step for man, one giant leap for Accrington.
Uh, I'd say boo, but that was actually pretty funny. All right. I will try to motivate my team the same as I would against any other opponent. That's not good enough. Do better. Let's see if they do. I think I'm about to get scored on. Oh, my goalkeeper came up with a huge save.
And they've gone a man down.
Yeah. I have to demand more. So I'm trying to motivate my players the same as any other match here. This is kind of funny, comical even, because I would have a very different approach if it wasn't for Jacob telling me to try to win this. Hey, we got another scoring chance. We didn't score it, but we got it. Actually, we have a 2.05 xG. They only have a 0.83 xG. We actually
So
got
you
some
should be winning.
dangerous. Yeah, according to that, we should be up 2-1 or 2-0, maybe even 3. So I guess we're getting some dangerous chances. We've only got 3 shots on goal, but they were all high quality. All right. Well, I need to get a goal.
I agree.
I will change nothing currently. Let's go look at who's overwhelmed by my feedback. You are overwhelmed by feedback? Get out of the game. You were overwhelmed by feedback? You're a little bit harder to replace, Stephenson, but I need to replace you nonetheless. Get out of the game. My goalkeeper is pressured by the feedback. Well, I can't change him. How many subs do I get? 5? I forgot I have 5 subs. Guys, seriously, oh my god. Oh my god, you guys. I have to John Travolta this one. Oh my god. Oh my god, you guys. Oh my god. Okay, I get one more. I don't think that those subs are going to change anything. Oh, Chabert steals the ball to Voice, who launches it into orbit. Actually, their keeper got a finger on that. But they're not going to show me the subsequent corner. Tactically, there's no magic I can pull here. Absolutely none. This team is just better than ours, and the fact that we're still in this game is nothing short of a miracle. So I will make an arbitrary substitution for the sake of getting a fresh player out there, but other than that, all I can do is hope and pray. Thoughts and prayers. So useful. uh,
Is this game in Arizona?
what? Arizona? What are you talking about?
USA Mexico.
Now, I'm pretty sure it's this one's in Brighton.
Not your game, you nitwit.
And we lost 1-0. Okay. Well. We are out. 1-0. Not bad, but I mean, no surprise. Actually made a game out of that. We're playing Scunny. That very team I was just talking about is managed by McConville.
Yep.
I have twice as much reason to cheer for you now. Because I also want you to beat McConville managing a rival team.
How was that offsides when you gave it to us? We stole the ball from you. How is that offsides?
Uh, they're even down a minute. They take that card 43rd.
No.
I'm just trying to figure out why you're not beating them worse.
State Farm Stadium. Where's that?
That's the answer to why you're not beating them.
Arizona. Yep.
Arizona. I went golfing there. Long time ago.
Oh, a couple of streamers are at that game, actually, that I stream with.
They're at the game. That's pretty neat.
Uh-huh.
It's nifty. They went to Arizona. Nice,
Well, he
nicer
lives
this
in
time of
Phoenix.
year.
He
He
lives
lives
in
in Phoenix.
so
Oh, so he's not going to melt.
yeah.
He'll be fine. It's actually not a bad time of year to be there, though. April,
No, not at
mid-April.
all.
It's not a bad. I went there in December and went golfing. I'm like golfing in
Nice.
December. That's awesome.
Mm.
Yeah, no, somebody I know took me and has golfing in Arizona, huh? Just gonna fly down, golf for like a week, and then fly home. And he's like, "Yep, okay, I'm in."
I guess for you, doing anything besides hockey in the winter is a novelty, and
It
so you will
was.
enjoy
It
it even
it
more.
absolutely was, and I loved being somewhere where it was nice weather. Actually, in the middle of December, Arizona's awesome.
Mhm.
I mean, the nights still get wicked cold, but the days are great.
Oh yeah, quite comfortable too.
hmm Yeah, I had zero complaints about the temperatures there. Okay, I need to rest some players. How many days? 2 days. 2 days is the greatest. Oh man, come on. I'm holding the control key, I swear. That training rest 2 days. I need them to play again in that amount of days I just said. Or as they say in the United States, dos.
Wait, what? What do they say in the U.S.?
Dos. Spanish for two. Come on.
The only two that they say
Yeah.
in Spanish in the U.S. is dos a cero. With a very famous win
Okay.
in I think it was World Cup qualifying where the U.S. beat Mexico 2-0.
Uh-huh. uh
I'm arguably a turning point in the U.S. Mexico rivalry.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Very good. Very good.
but here's the cliche: you're in America, you speak English,
Uh, okay.
not knowing there's no official language of the United States.
Well, they claim that English is the official language of the United States. However, English is the second most spoken language in the United States.
There's no official language of the United
I
States.
know they claim it's English, but I
Oh,
know there isn't one. But it's also English is the second most spoken language in the United States. That's not true. It's the most spoken. It's the second most native language in the United States.
are you saying Mexican? Are you saying Spanish is the most native
It is.
language?
More people speak Spanish natively than English in the US. Yes. 100%.
I don't believe that.
It's true. Look it up.
Okay.
Yeah. Showing the fact that I'm not getting playing time. Well, that's because you're not that good. It's like I hate when players come to me like, "I'm not playing enough." Like that's because you're not very good. Then I tell them I'm going to sell them. Like I didn't say it. I don't mean it. I'm just kidding. Plus, you got player of the month.
English is spoken by approximately
Right,
78.5%.
right. It's spoken by more because the people that speak Spanish have to learn it. But if you're going to go with native languages, Spanish is first. It is the most spoken language. Yes, English. I misspoke. It's not the most native language there, though. Isn't. Just isn't.
Okay. Hey, you got manager of the month.
I did, and that means I won't get manager
First
of the
time for
year.
everything.
Wait, that's not my first one, is it?
No.
Dude, I've got like 5 out of 6. I didn't get it in September. That's the only one I didn't get. September, apparently I had that 1 month. Oh yeah, because in September I had my one draw. Somehow I didn't get manager of the month with one draw. But the month I got a loss, now that wasn't a problem. Let's see, where did I lose my game? Oh, November. Yeah, I still got manager of the month in November, even though I lost a game. They're like, yeah, you can't have manager of the month. You had a single draw. I've been finding out all kinds of interesting things lately. Like, I always thought, because business and internet, etc., that English was the fastest growing language on earth, and it's not.
Is it not Mandarin?
It's not. It's still
What
French.
is it?
It's still French. Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah, it's fastest growing still because the amazing amount of different nations that are under that umbrella. Yeah, no, things you learn. Yeah, Mandarin would have been a good shout. I even thought like maybe one of the Indian dialects would have been on there, but no, nope. They're definitely up there. Yeah, I think English is second, Mandarin's third, and I don't remember which Indian dialect was fourth, but it was there. I got 2 of the top 10 though, India alone. So yeah, and then Mandarin. Well, I mean that's been simplified now. They got simplified Mandarin, especially for the writing purposes. I've It's amazing how difficult that language was for a long time. That's why they had so many illiterate people. But now they've made it easier. Things that you don't really know but didn't care to hear anyway. I just get filled with random facts from time. And a lot of them are things that surprise the shit out of me. So I have to fact check them, and then I fact check them, and then I'd be like, wow, that's amazing. I have to share that with somebody. And now here we are. Yep. Stephenson, do it. Oh, you hesitated, you bum. At least you got a corner out of that. I expected better. We are definitely starting to look tired. I have run these players ragged. I should not have played them in that FA Cup game. Wasn't worth it. I know we've clinched the division. I don't care. The point. There's a goal. He scored old. He scored old all over the place. On our only shot on target. My team starts putting fewer on target when they're tired. That's one of the reasons I can tell. You have 9 attempts, 1 on target. But it's the one that went in, so. How's your game going?
I don't have a game, so I'm watching the US game.
How's that game going?
Hmm.
What are they playing for? Which cup is it?
It's a friendly.
Oh, just a friendly? Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
so it's for
US
pride.
started off pretty. So it's what?
It's for pride.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The US started off pretty well, but Mexico's starting to get back into the game, and the US is making a few mistakes in midfield. It's
Well,
the US sent a largely MLS based side today against Mexico.
well, they're both pretty strong teams, so I expect a good one. Close game.
Yeah, the US is what 13th in the world
Mexico's no
somehow.
slouch. I think it's because other countries are scared they'll get angry if they don't put them high up. Because they didn't earn it on
What the
merit.
US?
Yeah.
Mm,
No, they're just steadily decent all the time. Like they haven't really had a super bad year. You know what I mean?
Mexico
Oh,
or the
U.S.
US?
Yeah, it's because they're just this.
2018.
steady team all the time. But even that wasn't like,
2018.
well, how was that? That's not even the worst. Coefficients
We
are
got
done,
knocked out
rankings are done over what, 5 seasons?
internationally for.
4. Okay, so 2018 is no longer in the factor for the ratings, then, is it? That
Guess not.
yeah. Didn't do your math before you made that point.
Well, no, 2018 is still a dark point in U.S. history.
I understand, but it is not factored into the rankings currently.
Not anymore.
That's why they're 18th. So maybe 2018,
The U.S. is
2019,
13th.
2020, whatever. They're in some position that baffles my mind. Having said that, at least that year is no longer factored. Maybe they were a bit lower down years ago when that was. You're missing the damn point, man.
Tell you why? It's because they won the Gold Cup. Not only that, they beat Mexico in the final,
Oh yeah, that's a
and
good
so
good factor. Yeah.
points allocated from the Gold Cup are the same, have the same weight as points allocated from the Euros.
But you told me last year, you said that the USA is going to win the World Cup in our lifetime. You did. You said that.
Yeah. Speaking of that, I actually put a $10 bet to win $190 that the U.S. is going to win the 2026 World Cup.
They're not going to win the World Cup.
No,
Okay.
but it's good value for money right
I
now.
understand. You got to root for them. It's a pride thing. I respect that. I do. I just realistically, I don't think the U.S. will ever win the World Cup. I just don't.
No, they'll win it in the next 4 cycles.
Hell no.
Hell yes.
No.
Hmm.
No.
Why?
It's just they don't have the capacity to develop the players the same as some of these other nations do. It's too
It's so
too
hard to
capitalist for
integrate
them.
into it.
There's too many layers that I'd have to peel away there to really get into why I don't think they'll do it. I just don't think they'll do it.
Well, I mean, they've been developing players quite
Oh,
successfully
they're getting
over the
better.
last.
I have to admit that they've improved exponentially. The MLS is starting to grow in popularity. It's being recognized as a higher league
You,
than it once was. It's no longer just a
so
place where people go to retire, though it still
can I
largely is.
can I stop you right there? You just proved it yourself. You said they've been improving exponentially.
Yes, they
You
have.
know what happens with an exponential graph? It goes up quicker. So
No,
the further into the future
you didn't
they
let me
go,
finish.
the better it'll be.
They're going to
No,
hit
I
the
didn't have
ceiling.
to.
They're
Once you
going.
get the answer you want, you cut them off.
Oh my god, is this how you learn to be diplomatic? Okay,
It's a Billy Bean quote from the movie Moneyball.
I absolutely know that one. Yeah. Uh,
Alright, go ahead. I'll let you finish.
they're going to hit their plateau. They're not going to be able to get past their own stubborn pride on how to go about taking the next step. They're going to England the shit out of it. They're going to get to a point where they're mild contenders each season, but they're always going to be falling short. I just pretty sure that that's the way it's going to go down. But we'll see. You never know. They could surprise me.
I'll
England could
I'll
surprise
counter
me
your
and win it
point.
too, but I don't think they will.
I'll, I'll counter your point and say that they've already learned how to get around the American capitalism
Oh, have they?
issue
Have they?
by sending players to Europe to good European clubs when they're younger. And so what happens is these MLS clubs have incentives to play their youngsters, who then move on to mid-tier to really good European clubs, and then the European clubs will develop them, not the MLS clubs anymore. That's how they get around it. Pulisic, McKennie, even Alfonso Davies for Canada. Um, who just went
What's
to
wait,
Augsburg?
that's a Canadian player though.
No, I know. I know. I was just saying for Canada, it can be the same way.
Okay. I mean,
Um,
Canada's not going to win the World Cup either. The fact they got into the World Cup was pretty much the height of the excitement we can expect from the
no,
Canadian
I know, but
national
I'm
team.
saying like in terms of developing players.
Yeah. I thought making the World Cup, that was amazing. I was so impressed with them. The first thing I said is
Mhm.
they're going to lose every game they play. And then they did. But they fought. They fought hard. They got there. It's a different animal altogether to win in North America. The way the style of play they have, like they're really tough. They play hockey in football basically. Like they tried to play really tough,
Mhm.
hard nosed grinding style. I'm like that shit is not going to work in the World Cup, and it didn't.
Well, they qualified for 2026, so you don't have to worry about that.
I mean, it's incredible that they even get to play in it. See, right there, I'm just elated. But do I expect them to win? No. I don't.
Mm.
No. It's like, do I expect any of my familial lines to win? I mean, okay, most of my family's in Scotland and Wales and Canada. None of those nations is winning the World Cup pretty much ever. But when they're in it, I cheer for them. It
Nice.
sucked last year when it turned out that only one of Wales or Scotland was even going to get in. But that's how it worked out. They had to end up playing each other to get in. Damn it.
Mhm.
Dems to break. Sometimes you can't control the draws. None of them made really
True.
decent showings. I was quite sure France would be a contender, and they got to the final. I don't think anybody was surprised to see Argentina win it. I don't think that was a huge shock. They have a very strong team. It was a really good final game. Got to go with that. That's for sure.
I'm sorry, I didn't even know you were done.
Oh yeah.
Just talking away. You didn't say anything that the game was over.
Uh,
So I apologize for not paying attention to that.
Kind of my fault because I was lost in the conversation. I was happy Portugal didn't win. I mean, that counts for something.
Oh, absolutely.
I love seeing Ronaldo not win and then cry and whine. Did you see his tackle the other day? My God.
When he WWE the guy to the
Yeah,
floor.
yeah. Yellow card. I'm like, are you kidding? That's a yellow card. Like that's playing favoritism pretty hard right there. Man, that guy was even
Um,
injured.
oh, really? I didn't
Yeah,
even know that.
yeah. That guy was injured and had to leave the game. Yeah, he actually strained his neck with that tackle.
Wow.
It's not a tackle in football terms. That was a tackle in like NFL terms. That's crazy what he did. I'm like, and the referee gave him a yellow card reluctantly. What are you expecting? Ronaldo's going to come drop kick you? Like, I guess he could, and he'd probably get away with it based on the way that they're treating him there. God, I hate that guy more and more all the time.
Oh, so do I. Promise what? 625 now.
If he just put his ego
Um,
aside, let his achievement speak for itself. Oh wait, that's Lionel Messi. Never mind. I like him. He's a lot better.
absolutely.
Yeah, he's just way more humble a dude. Just carries
Hmm.
himself in all the right ways. Makes him more likable. Anyhow, this isn't a Ronaldo versus Messi conversation because that's just a silly conversation to have to start with. They're not comparable.
James Sands made the team. Oh, so NYCFC is getting a new stadium in 2026.
Wow. Well, that's a long way away, but still, that's kind of cool. Are you gonna
Yeah,
be?
so they no longer have to play in a baseball stadium.
Are you gonna end up working at it, or it's not something you're planning on?
Huh?
Are you gonna work at it, the new one, when it opens?
Oh, absolutely. If I still have the job, absolutely.
Nice. That's cool.
I'm gonna keep the job as long as I can. There's really no reason not to.
Well, because it's more of a casual job, and it might interfere with your actual one.
I only work 4 days a week with Amazon,
Yeah.
and they asked me to work a weekend, and I gave them Sunday because MLS is Saturday.
Good call.
So yeah,
That's a good idea.
I can. So the only problem is I only have 2 days off essentially, and that's Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Right.
So Tuesdays and Wednesdays rather. Just today.
Indeed. Voicey. 2-0.
So I have one more database that I want to put on my save before I start, but I don't know if it's even created.
Hmm.
Um, library workshop. I want a 48 team World Cup with groups of 4 instead of 3.
Sounds decent. How are you going to do it?
So I would have to recreate the qualification process for the World Cup unless somebody's already done it.
It's going to be hard. Like
Or
it's
no,
one of those things where if you make like one mistake, it's going to mess the whole thing up. No.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Or I can just redo the World Cup and keep the teams that qualify, or just go back to the 32 team World Cup.
Sounds like a lot of work, but you can handle it. I think if you put your mind to it.
We'll see.
Indeed. See how much patience you have.
Yeah.
I remember the last time you playing with the database and talking to you about it, and you had some colorful vernacular to describe the processes you were going through.
Oh, it's extremely frustrating. If
Yeah, that's
even
putting it
even
nicely.
even when you know what you're doing, it's very difficult to work with.
Oh, I agree. I agree. Yeah. Yeah. No, the pregame editor has it's needed work for a long time because it's gotten more and more complicated out of lack of updating as much as any other reason. Because it used to
Mhm.
be a lot more straightforward based on the database you were working with. The database has gotten more complicated and the editor has stayed much the same. So now it's just
Yeah.
it doesn't work nearly as well because it hasn't been streamlined like it used to be. But and then there's a ton of things that are in the game that can't be edited in the database now because it's all core code and they've just never added the ability to edit those things.
I mean, do you have any examples of that? I'm curious.
Absolutely. Okay, so a few years back, you used to be able to put a player so that they would never leave a team. Do you remember that? Lionel Messi had it set so that he would never leave Real Madrid or where was he? Or
Barcelona.
Barcelona. Oh my God! Wow, that was a okay. So it was set hard coded in the game. He could never leave Barcelona, right?
I did not know that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay.
It was hard coded into the game, so he could never leave that team. Pretty funny, right? Um, and that was something that could never be accessed into in the pregame editor. Couldn't change it,
Interesting.
but it was
I
editable because outside programs like FM Scouts editor, I don't remember what it's called. I think it's actually just FMSE, and then there's FMRTE and all those ones. You could edit it with those.
hmm,
Yeah, but you couldn't edit it with the pregame editor because they just never added that. Anyway, that one's from years ago. Now, more current stuff like thinking. Nope, too much pressure. Couldn't think of anything. Game's over. Can't think of.
okay.
It'll come to me if I stop thinking about. It. But there's some
Wait,
things.
before you go to sleep.
I'm hoping to think of it before I'm done playing our date tonight, so I can have the answer on a VOD. However, it's not immediately coming to me. But there are a bunch of things in the game that you can't edit with the pregame editor, even though they should be editable. They are not. Oh, hey, I thought of something interesting.
What's it?
I just want to see if go to the chat. Oh, main goof. Main goof, you're still there. Are you still there? I just thought of a fun thing to suggest. Making the game more fun. I'm just trying to think back to when I started playing. Of course, that's when it was still Championship Manager for me. But when I've helped other people start learning to play, or when I decided to dive into experimenting with the game, One of my favorite things has always been the make yourself unsackable option because then it doesn't matter what you do, and then you can just try whatever you want with no consequences. And that was
Yeah.
one of the most fun ways to learn the game. That one just occurred to me. But he's still in the chat, but I'm not sure if he's still watching. So, ba-ba-ba-da, ba-da. Mansfield Town. This is the FA Trophy quarterfinal. This is the cup I care about.
You said you're gonna win it.
These are the droids I'm looking for. Did I? Oh, that was silly. Then I play Notts County away, so I'm going to try to beat them for you. That'll help you move up. Up is good. You have clinched a playoff spot. Is that right? No, not even
No, oh
close.
no, not until the end of the season.
Oh, yeah, it's much closer than I expected it to be. You're only 5 points ahead of the team below. That's fine. You're going to win a whole bunch of games in a row now, and I'm going to try to beat teams around you.
Interesting.
I thought so too. Who wants? Who is this now? Zane Monlouis. Wow, you got 19 jumping reach at 6'3". That's incredible, man. That is some serious vert on this guy. You're not that good though, so that's why you're not playing. Let's go ahead and discuss that. There, transfer list. Good job, pal. See how easy that was. Contract up at the end of the year. No, you got another year. All right, I'll have to actually actively have to try to sell that guy.
I don't know if I'm gonna do that.
I'm gonna have a ton of turnover, but like we said, that's normal. I think most of my starting 11 will be fine though.
Oh, so I've even considered trying to make this kind of a World Cup cycle. So I would get rid of any like continental competitions like the Euros or the Gold Cup and just have World Cup qualifying.
Hmm.
And I would have every single team in one table.
Mhm.
I would play, let's say, two World Cup qualifying games a month, which
Mhm.
is like a lot of qualifying games, and then the top 32 or the top 48 or the top 64 teams make it to the World Cup.
Wow, that's a
Um,
monumental task.
so the way I wanted to do it, I don't think FM can do this. In chess, there's a scheduling system called a Swiss system. Basically, you play somebody that's roughly similar in standings to you.
Right.
So like the best teams are always going to play the best teams. The worst teams are always going to play the worst teams. And it's mainly used for when you have a bunch of teams in a tournament or a bunch of players in a tournament, but you can't play every single person in the tournament.
Okay,
And
that makes
so
sense.
I don't know if you can do that in FM, but I would like to do something like that.
That would be awesome, actually.
Um,
I love being rewarded
yeah,
for being a team that finishes higher up.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to mess around with the international competitions. It's just so difficult. I've tried watching videos on YouTube and they're not always concise
Yeah.
in their instructions.
Yeah, I like when higher teams play lower teams. That's my favorite tier. I mean, It's like the NHL. They switched it so that you play divisional rivals. However, it's not always going to be an easier opponent. Such as if we went back to the 1-8 system,
Hmm.
we'd be playing Tampa Bay, not the Rangers right now, and I don't think that's better. So, yikes.
I have to agree.
Yeah. Yeah. That's so. Sometimes it's better to not do it, but most of the time I prefer the 1-8, kind of 1-16. Top teams playing bottom teams. It makes the most sense. You're rewarded for finishing higher. Anyway, I gotta grab a new drink. I'll be right back.
Okay.
I have returned. Rejoice. 0-0 at halftime. What is this garbage? This is Drop Bear. You dropped the ball. Drop Bear dropped the ball. That's funny. You're supposed to be in charge when I go somewhere. See to it that we score. It's all right. Probably busy playing his own game right now. I can't manage your team and mine at the same time, man. Come on. Right? Something like that. Got tough decisions to make. Like leaving Liverpool for West Ham, apparently. These are the hard choices when you're playing a journeyman.
I don't think I can do that. I get too attached to a club.
Well, I really disliked my time at the one in Wales I was playing at, so it was easy for me to leave
That's
them
fair.
actually. Although I was
But
starting to build them into a really dominant team for that division, so I was starting to get to that point where I'm just like, I have done so much work on this team, I don't want to leave. But then I had to force myself.
yeah, I can't start a save with the intention of it being a journeyman.
No, this is my
I've
first
tried
time.
before, just not successful.
No, I understand. This is my first time, and I'm finding it really hard, very, very difficult. Because now I'm just like, okay, so where am I going to go from Stevenage? I'm like, I probably stay here forever.
Mhm.
So I'm already at that point where I'm like, I don't ever want to leave this team. They're letting me get coaching badges. Yup. I just when I get on a team that I like, I just stick there. I just want to stay there forever. Just want to tell them they played good. Whatever. 1-0 is a good enough win for me right now. We are moving on to the next round. You're playing a league game, aren't you?
Yep, and we just scored.
It's only 15 minutes in and my game's done. That's incredible.
Yeah, it's been a bunch of highlights this first 15. I had to pause for a minute too.
Well, I won 1-0, so it'll tell you how boring my game was. And the goal that was scored wasn't even cleanly scored. It was an own goal off of one of their players.
All right, goal's a goal.
No, yeah, absolutely, I'm taking it. I still say it should be like hockey, and the last player that touched it should get credit for it. Stats in order. I don't want to look at their stats. You injured Caden Jackson. How dare you injure Caden Jackson? He's a former Liverpool guy.
So,
I
former, not current.
Yeah, all right. I just liked him when he played. He's a good player. I think he was a loanee.
We actually have to finish in the top three.
Why think
Now that
about
I'm
it when I
thinking
can
about
just find out? But just
it, if we
take a minute,
finish in the top three, we get a bye in the first round of the playoffs.
which would be nice. No, he was not a loanee. They actually bought him from Grimsby Town. He was there the year they went up. And then, oh yeah, right. And he was sold as their record transfer to Ipswich. That's right. He was their record transfer out. It's another reason you can remember who he is quite well. He is the highest fee that Accrington ever received for a singular player at that time. Probably still is.
2-0 here.
2-0. Now you're starting to turn the corner. Told you you're going to win a whole bunch of games in a row. I'm going to beat the teams around you. Yep,
Are you
Caden
watching the
Jackson's still
replay?
their record. Sorry, what?
Are you watching the replay?
I know. Why?
My game's not moving forward. Now it is.
Okay. It showed me a replay, yes, but I'm not doing that to
Oh.
you on purpose in any way. Is that Caden
Well,
Jackson?
if
Go ahead.
if you're spectating the game and your replays are slower, my game won't continue until your replay is done.
My replays are turned off, so I don't know why they're showing me replays.
Oh
I don't want to see
no,
replays.
you you turn them on intentionally earlier in the save
I
because
have
you like
I
the
turned them
spin
back
so
off.
much.
I turned them back off.
Okay,
I haven't had them on since I joined Accrington.
okay.
They were just big time wasters. So yeah, replays are off. When I'm watching your game, it
Well,
still shows me
I don't
replays.
care.
No, no, I get it. But when I'm watching your game, it still shows me replays. I don't know why.
Huh.
They're not showing you replays.
No, they show me the replay, and then it takes a minute for the game to continue.
That's odd. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on there. Okay, so for the fourth attempt here, Caden Jackson is their biggest sale. Then Cameron Burgess, then Matty Pearson, then Dion Charles. Those are
Let's
the
see.
most expensive players they've sold. 1.6 million is what they got for Caden Jackson. That's the most they ever got from an individual
Wow.
transfer. Yeah, paid more than paid for their entire team's wages that year. I need to think about. Because that's the year where Billy Key made $1,200 per week, and he was by far the highest paid player on the team. McConville made $1,000 a week, and nobody else made over $1,000 a week. And even now in League One, they still don't pay anybody more than like $1,500 a week, even though other teams pay like $3,000 a week. That's why they struggle for players, and that's why they're struggling to stay up. But they've been doing it for what, 4 seasons now? It's pretty impressive. There's that part of me though that's kind of excited for them to go back down to League Two, because then I can play as them in Football Manager from League Two onwards, and I always preferred that.
Yeah,
That's selfish though.
that's fair.
That's so selfish though. I don't. It shouldn't be that way. I should be rooting for them to stay up because it's the best thing for them, financially and respect wise.
Right, your game's done.
Yeah,
This game's taking too long. Wait,
my
we have a highlight. Never mind.
my game was done when you were 15 minutes into this game.
I know.
It's just weird, but don't feel rushed.
That
Lots of
was a
time.
scary tackle.
Lots of time for your players to get a red card. It's just thinking the
Oh,
same as
here's
you.
a third goal.
Oh, he boffed it. What was that, Burnett? Off of his wrong foot. That's what we're gonna say. I think he's right-footed, isn't he?
I don't know.
Well, that was definitely his
Not
left
really.
foot he hit that with. So I'm pretty sure he's a right-footed player. Yeah,
Net
very strong
is
right foot,
a
reasonable left foot. Yeah, just looked. So yeah, that's why he missed. Wrong foot.
here's a goal.
Doyle, that's a good range for Doyle, yeah. Oh, so
Mm.
close. I honestly expected that, but it wasn't centered enough. If it was more centered, that's that score almost every time spot that you like to talk about.
Exactly.
That was still a high percentage area, definitely.
Oh, absolutely.
Your team definitely wants another goal. Like they're playing like they're hungry for it. Oh, they bailed them out there.
Yeah, we have less than a 2 xG.
And well, but not by much. They have a two
So
xG.
less.
That's the frustrating part. Is theirs is almost equal to yours, and they've only got two
Mhm.
shots on goal. So, but yeah, you're passing 5.5 passes to their under 4 passes, and you've got way more possession. So that OPPDA is a really underutilized stat. I think it needs to be used more now
And
that it
it
makes
essentially
sense.
means how many passes a team can make before they lose the ball.
Yep, yep. On average, how many passes you're making before turning the ball over. So keeping the other team to a low number and having a high number yourself are good.
Nice.
Yeah. And in general, if you are making more passes than the other team, you typically get more possession. But it doesn't always work that way because sometimes I play you and it just doesn't work that way. And in my mind, I don't know how the hell that's possible. But whatever.
I should just figured out how to play against you.
Well, I think it has more to do with having slower passing. Like players just hold on to the ball slightly longer and wait for a pass, drives up your possession without driving up your pass numbers.
That's definitely a shout.
Yeah. Ed Turns wants to discuss. Half my team is like, I'm mad I don't play. I'm like, you are terrible. Oh, I can't tell this guy he sucks, and I'm going to sell him. I can't. What the hell? See what? It's supposed to be an important player here, but my playing time is wrong. What's going on? Where is my ability to sell him? Oh, here it is, right here. Uh, he's like, no, don't do that. It won't be necessary. I'm sorry. Just another one. I'm sorry. So I'm at my national C license or continental C, sorry, continental C license in my other game. Pretty good,
Oh,
eh?
okay.
Yeah,
Nice. Yeah,
I know.
absolutely.
Steven is just actually letting me get licenses, so I've just been racking them off one after another. Got 3 in this season.
Wow.
Yep,
That's actually really good.
I know. I'm excited. Although currently, because they're letting me get licenses, I have no intention of leaving them. It's making me want to be more loyal, even though I could move up. It's funny how that works. And the other one, it's like I want out of here, but I can't go anywhere because I have no licenses. But if they had allowed me to get licenses, I probably would have stayed. One of those super ironic things. I have 2 games a week, a lot coming up because of the stupid cups.
You only need one cup.
Yeah, I only just got knocked out of the other though, so I still have a makeup game somewhere in there. I think, don't I?
Oh, true. And the semifinal is two-legged.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's what it is. 2 leg semifinal. I have the same amount of games as everyone else, but yeah, I have a stupid 2-legged semifinal and then games to make up around that. It's not ideal, but I'll make do. I do have a deep squad. I just choose to not use my backups because they're not that great. Don't tell them I said that. They're already
Tell
complaining
me you
enough.
said that, and I'll take them myself.
You want my backups? You really don't.
Um,
Guess it depends which backups it is. Alex Henderson injured. I seem to be collecting injuries, but they're so far all smaller ones, so I'm not going to worry.
Some damn good physicals.
New youth players. Ooh, I have two top talents.
Nice.
That could be exciting. I think. Maybe. Well, I don't know. Stars aren't great to start with, but stars don't mean shit. Okay, so let's take a look at this guy. Oh, that guy's solid. Okay, go ahead and sign you up. Right. You want your wages to go up to 325. Let's put it to 300 now. Bop that up to that. Minimum fee release clause of what, like 120 million? Bam, he loves it. Bernardo Ferraz, whom I hope will be a decent goalkeeper in the future. And contract you. Good enough for me. Austin Menton. Future prospect. Yeah, okay. Got it, pal. Oh, nice mentals on this kid. You might say his mentals are mental. Yes, future prospect. Not a surprise. I don't want to offer you quite that much. Not bad at all.
Idiot.
That's just a random thing to say. Why?
Uh, you're doing a contract, so I was trying to do a puzzle real quick.
Did you just say I'm an idiot?
Yes.
What? No, you're not.
It's true.
No, you're not. No self disparaging remarks. Not allowed, mister.
Oh, over here now.
Uh,
Oh. No.
I'm just going to sign every one of my youth players the traditional style of Jacob. Some of them, though, got better contracts than just youth contracts because they're looking pretty wanky, I must say. I think that goalkeeper I got could be a real gem. Gotta have to keep an eye on him.
Ooh, no. Get out of here, Notts County.
Be right back.
Really like. Okay.
Okay, sorry about that.
Okay.
Joanne going to bed, so I got to give her a hug. It's an absolute necessity. All things
Absolutely.
will be on hold for that. No arguments.
I don't blame you.
Yeah. Night night. Uh, I think my biggest challenge is going to be finding a decent defensive midfielder to replace Popov. He's been pretty decent there at that position, but he's only contributed 4 goals and 1 assist, which surprises me. But he's passing at 87%, which I love.
Wow.
Yeah, for a defensive midfielder, that's a really good passing percentage.
You were 37 points ahead of second place.
Uh huh. Yeah.
That's the same number of points that Dulwich Hamlet has in 20th place.
Yeah, I know.
Disgusting.
I'd be safe from relegation based on taking most of my points away. I understand. I have almost 4 times the necessary amount to stay up.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm almost at 40 wins, and 10 wins seems to be enough to stay up, including 7 draws. But I have to assume I wouldn't have lost every game. I would have drawn more. Having said that, no, this is one of the more commanding seasons
Hmm.
I've ever had, but I chalk it up to the team I inherited. I'm taking very little credit for it.
Sure.
Yeah. I cannot believe how strong this team was as soon as I walked onto it. I was like, okay, they got 1 or 2 good players. I think this could be fun. And then I started really peeling back the layers. I'm like, this is a freaking great team. I mean, don't get me wrong. I made some nice additions. Okay. Like I will toot my own horn just in that way. Adding Nicholas Stephenson was a stroke of genius, man. He's got 16 goals, 21 assists from my midfield. The guy's a boss in the center. And he's going to be a Premier League player. So I'm going to struggle to
Yeah.
hold on to him. I better go up quick. It's one of those scenarios that I did with Stevenage, where I brought in some potentially good Premier League players early. But the problem
Hmm.
is that if I do not get promoted as quickly as possible, they're going to want off the team. So
Hmm.
yeah,
High release clauses and optional extensions.
that's what I kept doing.
You
Yep.
know the deal.
That's how I ended up building that team up. Yep. It's 3-year contract extensions so that I could keep them captive. Then I just had to make sure to get up as high as I could within those 3 years so they wanted to stay with renewals. But yeah, that's the secret. It's a mild exploitation, but it's not like teams in real life don't lock players into super long contracts and be like, "You are now our prisoner." They do, they absolutely do. I guess I need some under 21 management time in the future. I'm gonna have to take over my own under 21s next year, like I often do, because I don't like how many players on my team do not have any match sharpness at all. Because I've been sticking to the same starting 11 over and over and over again. Speaking of, I play today, Notts County third, the Dorking, your favorite team, Jacob. Dorking
Yeah.
next week. I play the Dorks from Dorking. Bunch of dorks. Inspiration, praise, bam. Do that one. God damn, Stephenson's aggressive again. There, I've got him inspired.
Well, they also need to make more stadiums in this game. There's like maybe 12 generic stadiums. I feel like I don't know.
He says as I'm literally playing in a stadium I don't think I've ever seen before.
I gotta look at this now.
I was just looking at the stadium being like, I don't think I've ever seen this one before. It's got 3 tiers, all the sides, and this weird little parking thing over here. This is a whole new stadium I've never seen. 2-0. 10 minutes in, 2-0.
Nice.
This deserves a dance. There we go.
Oh, we're playing second place. We need this win.
And I'm playing third place, so come on, get your act together.
Okay.
I'm helping you out over here. You help yourself out.
Doyle, own goal.
6 the gamer helps those who help themselves. Wait a minute. That's not true. I'm just nice in general most of the time, except for when I'm not, which is part of the time. I want to tell them not to be
Yeah,
complacent.
that's
Oh, guy does not like that. He's like, he's anxious. Oh, yeah, let's pump him up. Bam! You're pumped up. I knew that would work. Just seems like seems that that's worked with him before. He likes to be encouraged.
team.
I couldn't tell him he's playing well because he's only got a 6.6, but I
84.
can tell him to bump it up. Cannoneers on a 6.3. He's coming out. Right wing is another position where I'm having struggles. I have 2 or 3 right wingers, but all of them are kind of just garbage.
Yeah.
As they say in Jersey, gabbage. Oh, that was too much fun. Sorry.
It's okay.
That's not wrong.
I know we don't. I know we don't talk like that.
Some do. Some of them do. Just mostly the Jersey Shore types,
Why?
though.
Why?
It's stereotypes are funny because they exist for a reason.
I don't know. The U.S. and Mexico made a joint bid to host the 2027 Women's World Cup.
Nice. That'd be not bad at all. So where would that be?
I like
Between
that.
probably like Texas and some of the Mexican towns up in the north?
Oh, still all over the U.S. and Mexico.
Yeah, I guess.
Um,
I mean, if you got the right form of travel throughout, it's not that much distance to cover, is it?
yeah.
Okay, we have defeated the third place team. Smacked him around like a codfish, really.
We're not even at halftime yet.
Well, hurry the hell up. No, I'm kidding, Dick. I don't know what to tell you. That game was only 2-0. I scored twice in the first 10 minutes, and then I think I saw 2 replays the rest of the way. My team likes to
Now
lock
it's
it down
1-1.
after I tell them to lock it down. Oh, I just got here, and it didn't even show the other goal. I feel kind of disappointed that I missed it, but sad that it happened. Come on, Tommy Doyle, score again. I'm here to scout you. Okay, or set up a goal. That works too. I'm trying to think like it's been on my mind this entire time about doing a save a save thing. And I'm like, I have so many different points that I would make than other people. And like everyone has their own approach to this game.
So, but
And the things I prioritize may not be what everyone prioritizes.
you're also the only really successful person I know at this game. So I'd listen to you over pretty much anybody.
Oh, well, I appreciate that. Thank you.
No problem.
Yeah. I find that some people just really give too much credit to the AI. They think this game is smarter than it is, and that's why I tell them just got to keep it simple. You got to. You can't assume the AI was going to learn your tactic or figure out how to play against you because it doesn't. It absolutely doesn't. It just does its own thing.
So on.
Come on, blue team. Go blue team. Beat those boogers. Little boogers all over. Look, little green boogers everywhere. That's right, Yovel. I just called you boogers. What are you going to do? Wait, when do I play them next? Better be careful what I say. Uh, the AI in the game might hear me.
The open man.
Oh, that's too much fun. Okay, Doyle, come on, set it up. You're in the show. Show me something. Okay, that's a baseball reference. Fine. He was confused, clearly.
Oh, Cade Cowell.
Who on Yovel?
No, the U.S. team, Cade Cowell, is a very good prospect on the San Jose Earthquake,
Mm.
who in the next couple of years could be playing in Europe.
Mm. How about that? Well, I put in my job application for West Ham United. I can't imagine I will get a call, but I mean, Chelsea didn't even bother reading mine. I sent it, but they didn't read it. But I applied for West Ham. You know, funny thing is, if one of these teams take a chance on me, I don't even know what the hell I would do. I'd be like, Jacob, help me. Let's go run this team together.
Oh, come on.
Oh, for frack's sake. That is some shit defending. Holy cow. Sorry. But wow. Yeah, no, first thing I'd do would be like, come on, man. We got to go run this team over in England. It'd be fun, don't you think? What's the worst that'll happen? We get fired in half a year? We're still going to make more money than we would have in the next 10 years.
True.
Yeah. Yeah. Or, you know, we could actually be like really good at it and all of a sudden start winning and you know, become legends. Just never know. I think the main thing in actual real life managing, especially at the higher levels, is getting the respect of your players. That's the hard thing to overcome. Because
I don't think we'd ever get the respect of their players.
the ego on some of these guys is just astronomical. Like, I can tell you right now what Chelsea's problem is. Okay, well, I'll tell you too. First, they have a starting 11 and 33 regular first team players. What the hell were they thinking? Like, they signed 8 players in the January window alone and shipped none out. Yeah, there's some serious turmoil in their dressing room. In fact, there was practices being run where some players didn't even have a dressing room stall. These are professionals.
Really?
Didn't even have space in the dressing room for them. They were having to put their gear out on the team benches. That is unacceptable to me. You got to get that shit, rein that in. Okay. Second problem. Their manager got zero respect. You know, like he came from Brighton and where they respected him. And everybody called him the lackey. All the players, to his face, called him lackey. They zero respect for him because they just thought that he was Todd Bowley's lackey. How the hell would you ever rein in those egos enough to be able to manage these players?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's what you got to overcome is the egos. So I think the only way you could possibly save Chelsea in real life is to tear the whole thing down. Get rid of as many of those players as possible and start building that team with players who want to be there, not just players who are chasing the money. Because how many of those guys signed knowing there was 5 other people in their position for competition, but the money was too good to turn down? Nice goal by Thompson, by the way.
My goalkeeper has struggled to perform because he has 0 overall chances. He's a goalkeeper.
Well, I guess put him in for the next penalty.
I guess so.
It's like they know what kind of manager you are. They're like, he hasn't given me a chance to score yet.
How do
Hey
I get
man,
out of this?
it's you, you know. How do you get out of what? Uh-oh. Did you get yourself stuck on a menu?
Yeah, hold on.
Right here.
There we go.
You did it! I knew you could.
Just tactics and cancel. That's all you got to do.
Okay. I don't know what screen it was, but I'll try to remember that.
Uh, Yeah, I think that's good for anything.
Tactics and cancel? Okay.
Yeah, whenever you get stuck.
So West Ham's not nearly in as bad a disarray, though. I mean, they haven't had the greatest season, but they've also had a lot of injury troubles. So
Here's
if we
another goal.
if we get that job, we'll probably be better off. Yeah, right. If I get the
Uh,
managerial job at West Ham, you're coming to be my assistant. Just that's just
yeah,
happening.
against my own will, because I don't really like West Ham, to be honest with you.
I don't like him either,
But
but
I'll do it.
it's a professional management job. It'd be a lot of fun. Don't have to
Can I blow?
like the team per se.
Wait. I'll only take the position if I can blow the bubbles with the fans every game.
I mean, that sounds pretty cool, actually.
They do it like every the 17th minute for every game or something like that.
Really, that's just like a weird tradition
Yeah,
they have, eh? Wow, that's
yeah.
pretty funny, actually. I've heard it. I've heard a
See
little
two,
something about it, but I just never paid attention.
see two managers blowing bubbles.
That's crazy. Yeah, it sounds fun.
Oh,
Got to get involved. Get those fans involved. As soon as you got the fans on board, you're good.
hmm
Yeah. We're going to win the Premier League, qualify for the Champions League. We're even going to get into the knockout rounds, probably losing the quarterfinals with West Ham. We'll be legends, and then we get pick our team that we want to go to. And then we'll argue over who's taking over either Pep or Klopp, and then we'll be like, no, we'll just go in our separate ways now. Then we'll face off against each other between City and Liverpool. It'll be awesome.
and I'd actually beat you.
In real life, yeah, probably. That's the way you could win right there. You'd be like,
Yeah,
this is for all those years on FM.
I would.
Funny stuff. That's awesome.
I'd hire Pep as my assistant. You
Uh,
and Pep as my assistants.
I don't think Pep would want to be an assistant to anybody.
Why not? He can do
He's.
whatever he wants, and I'll take all the blame.
I can't see him becoming an assistant. He doesn't seem like the type.
I'll pay my wages. How's that?
I don't think it's about wages for him. Pretty sure. Well, I mean, it's a factor, definitely. Don't get me wrong, but no, I don't. I think he'd rather manage his own team.
I wonder what is the Man City manager getting paid in this game? Let's look.
That's a decent question. He did just renew his contract, and it was pretty hefty, as I recall.
In this game, it's Diego Simone, and it's $195,000 a week.
Oh, they don't have to pay me quite that much.
So if they could pay me $5,000 a week, and I'll be happy. It's still 500.
Wait, as manager of City?
Five,
No, you wouldn't. You'd need more money than that.
why?
Lifestyle. It's just this whole thing. And
I'm in a
taxes.
humble
Their
living
taxes are really high too.
in England.
Oh yeah.
I'm still living in the U.S., my friend.
Not if you're managing there, you're not.
Says who?
Well, where are you going to live? You're not going to fly back and forth between every game.
No, I'll just rent a place. I'll rent in a hotel.
Okay, so there you go. So now you're talking about living expenses well beyond £5,000 a week.
All right, let's see. A hotel that's $100 a night.
Hun-
It's
pa-
$700 a week.
Pounds and £100 a night. None of those would be anywhere near the stadium. Those are going to be in like the scummiest places down there in Manchester.
Listen, wait a second. Wait, if I'm managing City, I'll just find someone to live with in Rochdale.
Oh, for Christ's sake!
Hmm. I'll offer them season tickets to the Etihad. And for Rochdale, for that matter, since
All
I can
right,
afford it now.
£176 per night is your average for anything that's 3 stars or more in Manchester.
Okay.
212 is the average if you're going to stay within a 5 block radius of the Etihad, and you
All
should.
right, 212 a night.
Yep. Times what? 30
That's
is your
70.
average.
That's $73,000 a year. If I'm getting paid $5,000 a week
Plus you got to
times
eat.
52 weeks,
Plus you have to eat.
I'm getting paid $260,000 a year. Subtract the 77,000.
Okay, you still got to eat.
I'm getting $183,000 a year.
28% tax.
Okay, so
It's
mm, tw-
freaking. It's
26
madness. You need more. Moral of the
260,000.
story is you need more. How
What was it?
much for a
26.
place that's Airbnb could work out? Yeah, I guess Airbnb is an option. Let's go look.
You said 26% tax, so that's 74% is what I get.
Yeah, it's trust me, you need more. Just believe me.
Alright,
It's
well,
city. They
alright,
can afford it.
alright. Alright, fine. Pay me $10,000 a week, and I'm happy. Okay,
Ah, we're
solves all my
talking.
problems.
There you go. I mean, I'd push for 25, but these guys are making
No,
what?
because
What's the current manager making? He said 125. It's a hell of a deal.
$195,000.
Oh, okay, so 100. So 100,000 a week's a deal. It's less than half of what they're paying that guy. Come on, deal here.
Okay.
Airbnb looks like it'd be slightly more expensive than a hotel. Strangely enough, in Manchester near the Etihad. That's probably just people capitalizing on that. The fact that it's got such close proximity to one of the biggest places that has a draw there.
Okay. Right, the US is down 1-0.
Well, he said it was a close game, so somebody's got to score. I mean, they don't got to, but it was likely to happen. Good question, though, Kellen. Definitely that was worth looking up as an alternative. Doesn't look like there are a lot of Airbnb options near there within five blocks of the stadium. Presumably because it's mostly commercial around there, probably right, and therefore more hotels than residences.
Wait,
Deadline day
what if I
recruitment.
wait, here we go, here we go. What
Okay,
if I rent out wh what if I buy out a commercial space
hmm can't live in commercial spaces. You have to
and
res-
use it as a business expense, as an office?
Okay, but you can't live in it.
I I'm not living in it, I'm just staying overnight every night.
You you definitely don't want to be
Listen,
caught doing that. That's
listen.
so illegal.
At the training facilities, they have showers, they have meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
You're hilarious.
I have my own locker. I have my own office in the stadium. I can keep, 10 different sets of clothing and do my laundry every week.
Okay.
Listen, I got this all squared away. All right. I will
I don't know
rent
the
out.
living in commercial space laws in England. If it's anything like the US and Canada, it's highly advisable not to do that.
Mr. Beast lives in his warehouse. The biggest YouTuber does it. I'm sure I can do it too, and do it more under the radar.
Does he have it's because he has a loft area that's designated residential.
Okay, well then I'll do that.
Well, you're going to need to
I'll
make a
just
lot more than 100,000 a week in order to do.
No, I'll just put a little I don't know, wood panel up there. A little space for me. Like I don't know.
Just looking at the British laws for this. Can you? Oh, okay. All right. Um, yeah.
See?
Okay.
See?
So if you get a residential certification for your commercial property, you can live in it. Britain is
Thank you.
actually much easier to do than it is in Canada or the US. All right. Well,
Should- I could have told you that because that's what I'm gonna do.
all right. Apparently, Britain has some pretty lax laws on doing that. Dido.
You know what? This is what I'll do. I got it all set up.
Okay. So,
I'm buying a space.
in order for it to
Buying it.
be designated a residential space, it has to have its own bathroom, shower, kitchen, and separate bedroom from the kitchen area.
Okay. Perfect. I'll make it two stories, right? A two-story
Oh,
space.
sounds nice already.
The first the first floor is a restaurant. It's a steakhouse.
Damned. Oh, of course it's a steakhouse because you got to take your players for steaks.
Exactly.
I should have seen that coming.
And then the second floor is my living space.
Got it. Got it.
It's
Which,
perfect.
yeah, it is. It's absolutely ideal. It's almost like you knew what you were doing there. And this coming from the
And
the manager
and
of Manchester City.
and they have to pay for their meals. Not no free stuff.
Well, no, those guys get paid ridiculous sums of money. So
Exactly. I need some more money. I'm the poor one on the team.
it's true, actually. Making your measly 100,000 a week because that's what I negotiated for you. Uh,
Each steak is $1,000,
he wants to work for them for
and
10,000 a week. What a guy!
you you have to go to the restaurant at least once a week to be considered for the first team.
Oh my god, that is. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure that's not allowed. But I mean, that's not where I want to suspend disbelief on this particular scenario. So I'm just gonna go with it. This whole thing is just sounding more and more
Totally,
hilarious.
totally plausible.
Ow, plausible. That's a word.
Yeah. What other crazy stuff?
Plausible.
Oh,
Yeah,
and
that's a word with 3 syllables. Okay.
you can't wear red.
Can't
It's
you can't
you
wear red. It's illegal.
can't wear red.
Right.
Yeah,
Gonna make it a law that you cannot wear red in and around your stadium or
of
restaurant.
course, of course.
Just don't know why I even bothered questioning any of this.
Um, anything else I can do?
At this point, whatever you feel like. Oh, I don't have another central defender. Where is my mind? I sold my other central defender. That's why.
I think that's it. I can't think of anything else I can do
For
to be
what?
more creative.
About your living situation
Oh,
as the manager of
of course.
Manchester
With
City?
all the money, I'm gonna buy the world's most powerful computer and run every league on FM. There we go.
It's already been established that even NASA doesn't
I
have a
know. I
computer
know. I
powerful
know.
enough for that.
Well,
You could try just to see.
all right, fine. How about every league on view only except one, and I'll do a massive simulation.
Pretty sure you can do every league on view only except for one now.
Yes, I can. I've done it with FM12. I've
Yeah.
gone 1,000
Yeah,
years.
view only just doesn't take up a lot of space, so that one's alright. I'm gonna put this guy in. Man, this is tough to do when people are away on international duty.
Mhm.
All right, this is my B team. How many clean sheets ahead am I? 6. How many games are left? 6. Okay. Guess I could put in a different goalkeeper if I want. Wait, who is my other
This
goalkeeper?
is this is
Oh,
gonna have to be the last game for me because I have to go to bed.
this guy's terrible. Okay. Oh, is it?
So you know, yeah, it's
Oh, but
gonna be
that's okay.
12 o'clock.
It's like almost 3 hours, man. It's not a big deal.
Huh?
It's been almost 3 hours. Not a big deal.
Well, yeah, I have to get up for work in the morning.
Yeah, you've warned me about this.
Okay.
All this adulting and such. Almost 3 hours is great, man. Don't even worry about it.
Yes. Well, I said I could do 3 hours.
That's pretty great.
Thank you.
Yeah, I know. You gotta work comes first. Got to make a living, and that's the funny thing about
Yep.
video games is they aren't the priority for some people.
Not anymore.
Still are for me. I don't
I'm
care.
working 10 of the next 12 days across my 3 jobs.
Yeah, you're gonna be a busy guy, and that's why even on Monday when
Yeah.
you're like, "I'm tired," I'm like, "Yeah." Or no, you said you wouldn't be home on time. The first thought I had was,
No.
"You're gonna be tired. I think we should just skip it."
Well, I
I know.
texted you, I messaged you, and I
I know.
said we could play if you want.
I saw that mid later on, but I just resigned to we should
Uh,
probably skip the night. How tired were you? Was I right? You were super tired?
I am. I don't remember falling asleep, so I guess so.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because so essentially, what I did was as soon as I got off of work at like 10, I think it was 10 o'clock. I
Mhm.
sent you the message that I'm done now. If you still want to play when I get home,
Yeah, and I missed that one. I didn't
we
see it.
can.
Yeah, and I didn't see
So
that one.
I decided to go to Chick-fil-A to get dinner, and
Nice.
if you responded, I would have taken the Chick-fil-A home. But if you didn't, I was just gonna eat there and then
And,
go home.
and I didn't, so you ate there.
Yeah, yeah. I
You
ate there
relaxed
and
and
went
took your
home.
time. That's good.
Yeah, but that drive, oh my god, the drive home felt so long.
Was I? I wasn't gaming at the time. Why did I
No,
miss your
you're playing
message?
FM.
Oh, I was. Oh, how did I miss your
It,
message
it,
though?
it had you on FM. I don't know if you were actually playing it or not, but
No,
that's
no. If it's on, I'm
what.
playing it. I don't
Yeah,
sit there and leave it on. I'm not one of those
no,
people. God, I
you're
hate
not like
that.
me.
No, it drives me nuts. People are like, I got 2,000 hours. I'm like, yeah, but you leave it on when you're not playing it half the time. Yeah, yuts. I like looking at my hours knowing I played every one of them, except for that 10-minute bathroom break I took. But I try to do that in the first half of my games.
Well,
If I'm honest, I take most of my bathroom breaks during the first half of games while they're playing out. They don't need my help in the first half. Not typically, anyway. There's nothing worse though than coming back from the bathroom and finding out you've had an injury in the 15th minute, and you're like, "Damn it! It's been waiting for you to make a substitution the whole time."
yeah.
That's the worst. I put in B players against Dorking,
Excuse me.
and I'm kicking their asses.
Nice.
Yeah, I love it. It's great. My first team really did
Um,
need this rest, though.
I'm curious to see when I finish tomorrow because Monday was the first day they increased the number of stops on my route,
Hmm.
and not only were the number of stops increased,
Hmm.
I had issues at multiple stops that you know cost me time essentially.
Yeah, trying to find them.
And well, yeah, and if I didn't have any issues, I would have been home around what 10:30, and we would have been able to play no problem.
Hmm. Hmm.
Uh,
Yep.
but like even still, they gave me 144 stops.
Hmm.
When I get my full route, I'll be doing like 175 to 190 stops
Yeah,
in a day.
my house is a good example of one that Amazon delivery people hate getting. It's because it's hard to find. It's in an area that
Mm,
it's easy to find the area, but to find my exact spot is it's really hard.
yeah.
And yeah, delivery people hate delivering to me. They always
The
call me, "How do
worst
I find your house? I don't know where it is. I'm wandering around." I'm like, "Yeah, I can see that on the GPS thing."
the worst part is at least the two routes, the one route that I had on Monday and a
Mhm.
route I had on Sunday.
Yeah.
Like the GPS that we use will have the house numbers on the map
Mhm.
so we can see exactly where we need to go.
Yeah.
But in the developments and apartment complexes, they're not always lined up properly.
Mhm.
So
Yep.
like if you're looking for 41A, for example,
Yeah.
on the GPS it'll say 41A, but in real life it might be 41E or something like
That's
that.
difficult to deal
So
with. I mean, like, there's
it's
the GPS for my place will take you to the area, the
hmm
complex, even like the because it's a
hmm
bunch of coach homes, right? And
hmm
but mine's at like the back of the whole thing, and
hmm
you don't see it from the road or from the driveway or anywhere. So basically, it's hidden. The
do
the whole the
you
whole side that I live on is hidden. So people have a hard time
do you
finding it.
put do you put instructions
I try,
on how to find
I
you
try,
try?
but people
Some
still
people
call me.
do.
They still call
Yeah,
me and be like, "I cannot find this." And I'm like, I
yeah.
don't know how to be any more clear than the very back row at this, I don't want to dox myself while I'm live, but this is the name of the
No, no,
complex.
don't.
No, I said, this
Yeah.
is the name of the complex. It's at the very, 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 very back of it. That's where we are. And somehow it's never enough for some people.
Some people just don't have common sense either.
Well,
So
Amazon eventually finds us every time, and they've never called me because they're not allowed to call you. But like if I call like Skip the Dishes or something like that, or a pizza place or whatever,
we
they
can no, we can call the customers.
oh really not here.
Yeah.
Anyway, the Skip the Dishes or a pizza place or any of them, they always call. They're always like, I don't know how to find you. I'm like, God damn it! Can I just get the same delivery person once, just so the ones who have already found me? But no, that's never an option. So actually for pizza it does. For pizza, I call the same place every single time now, and I get the same delivery driver every single time. So I like that one. But if I ever called any of the other delivery places, like I skip the dishes right off the top, and DoorDash or Uber Eats, none of them
Mm,
ever find me, and I've never got the same delivery driver twice. Yeah,
mm,
I've even had one guy who. Okay, so Superstore, real Canadian Superstore. It's groceries. Okay, they started a delivery service here, and I was like, "That's great." I don't have time to go shopping sometimes, and sometimes I'm, like there's a lot to carry, etc., etc. So I decided to try
mm.
it. Little did I know, they they guarantee delivery to your door. That's the guarantee. Little did I know though, they
Well,
outsource their delivery to uh, DoorDash. So they just call a DoorDash
okay.
driver to pick it up and deliver it to you. Well, the DoorDash driver refused to carry it to my door because it was too heavy. I'm like, well, that's the point of why I'm getting it delivered, pal, because I don't want to carry all that shit. And he's like, no, you'll have to pay me $20 to move it all. I'm like, excuse me? No, I've already
What?
paid for all of this through Superstore. And he's like, well, they can't make me do it. My game's over, by the way. It's like, they can't make me do it. I'm like, they guarantee delivery to my door. I don't know what to tell you.
Wow,
Anyway,
that's crazy.
yeah, so he left it all on the curb and left.
Did you get refunded for it?
Nope.
Did you go get it?
Yeah, of course I did.
Okay.
I got lucky; it was all still there and nobody messed with it. But I do live in a nice area, so. But that's not the point.
Mhm.
He wouldn't deliver it, so of course I called Superstore and I told them about this, and they really didn't actually care all that much, which surprised me. They
They're
gave
like,
me
oh
they
well,
gave me a $10 credit for the next time I order. I'm like, a $10
no,
credit for that shit? There won't be a next time.
exactly,
Yeah. Oh,
exactly.
okay, our games are done. You want it to stop here? Anyway, that's our fun anecdotes for tonight. I'll be back tomorrow because I'm playing Fallout 76, and we'll be back with this game hopefully Monday, depending on how late
Sweet.
Jacob has to work and how tired he is, because real life comes first. People know that. Anyway, until
Yep.
then,
Have a good one.